Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Not Cool in High School, episode 99. This is the last episode of season 3. And then we will start the brand new year with episode 100 as we enter the new universe of Not
The
Cool.
new universe.
The new universe of Not Cool in High School. All these new variant characters joining our table now with Kelly and Anthony going into their brand new season of season 4. And with that, we'd like to show you guys our brand new logo. So we're going to be we're getting rid of the Rugrat. You can still buy it, but our brand new logo is actually up for sale right now. So if you want to get it and be ahead of the curve, you can do that. But our brand new logo, as I'm trying to kill time as it's uploading.
I didn't know what's going on. So you just not putting it up, or
it's taking a little.
No,
bit.
it's a tactic. You make them wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
Any day
coming.
No, but it's going to be our brand new Rocco's Modern Life logo, which is available now. Our banner's in the mail, so coming.
What?
Can we say that?
Yeah,
it's a Rocco's
We
Modern
already
Life
said
spoof.
Rugrats.
That's a parody.
It's
It's
a
a
parody.
90s
Rugrats.
parody cartoon.
Yeah, it can.
Logo.
You can't copyright the shape. You can only copyright the word and the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's our spoof. It's definitely it's parody.
It's a parody spoof.
It's a parody,
thing.
spoof. But it's our first logo that's going to be the abbreviation, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
The NC. There it is.
NCIS.
IHS.
Yeah, there it is. It's the Not Cool in High School's Modern Life here. There it is.
Yeah.
Very excited. Nikolai made that for us. So if you want to support and grab some merchandise, you can head over to our Teespring and TeePublic, and I believe it's on Redbubble as well. So you can go get some stuff. So Redbubble has like a lot of. I have never really personally ordered anything from it, but they do have.
I got like 2 shirts now over the years.
Yeah. So
it's pretty good.
The only reason I have it up there is because they do have like baseball hats and I don't know why, but shower curtains and weird stuff like clocks and mouse pads.
That's cool.
There's a lot of wacky stuff, but I put it up there. So that's our new logo going forward. If you can support us and do that, that'd be great. We also have a Patreon. You can support our Patreon $1 or $5. It's a monthly subscription, helps us pay for some bills. And then also head over to our website, iwepnetwork.com, and search all of the other shows that's on our network and show us some love and support. We're going to go around the table here, say hi to everybody, do an introduction. I'm going to start on the other side of the table.
Oh my god.
And then we're going to
say my name and abruptly cut off.
Yeah. And then we're going to get into what we've been into, what's going on. Quick little thing coming up in a little bit in the show. We are going to talk about Spider-Man. So if you have not seen it yet,
the new movie, not one of the old ones.
Yeah, it was
Specify.
Spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about some stuff. It's been a week.
What happens in the movie?
Yeah, it's been a week. We will give you another spoiler when it comes up. We won't just throw it at you. So I'm here, Anthony, and then around the table.
I'm Andy.
I'm Nikolai.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Kelly. I'm Heidi.
There you go. And there we are. It's that's going to be our cast going forward. Unless someone else quits or leaves or dies.
Yep.
I'm quitting.
Yeah.
I quit.
or dies.
The year's over. Woo,
You're gonna
we're
kill
done.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna kill you. If you are watching live chat is open. You can come talk with us. If you watch anything or reading a comic or anything like that, you can comment in the comment section below, and maybe we'll check it out and tune into it. But and then the second half of the show, we're gonna be talking all things Halo, which is shocking. You picked this topic, which is exciting. I never had you like a Halo guy.
Well, look at what I own.
I know. I'm very impressed. Here's the fun thing.
I don't have 4. I don't. I looked. I thought I did. I never played 4 apparently.
Yeah,
I skipped it.
The fun thing about this is you attack Halo from a completely different standpoint of probably.
I don't give a
everyone
shit
else.
about the multiplayer.
Yeah, we're all the
I don't give a shit.
multiplayer people, and you're the storyline.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. I like it. I'm into it.
I mean, it's cool. It's there. Nothing against it. I don't care.
Yeah, because that game has always been the
Except for this one.
which one? What do you mean?
Halo.
No multiplayer in that one.
Yes, there is.
No.
The very first one?
Nope.
No.
Not when it came out.
I thought that was a
it
landline.
was-
You could do landline.
No.
No, it was storyline
I
only.
think that was 2.
No
Oh.
multiplayer in this one.
Yeah,
Interesting.
The
Yeah.
2 was the first multiplayer, and I think it crashed. Did it not?
There might
I
have
think
been
you get system link for a
on-
co-op.
Yeah, I was
Or,
gonna say.
or system link for there was no online.
No, I think you're right. I don't think there's online.
There was
but,
no
like,
online for regular
You
Xbox.
could do versus mode.
Yes,
Again.
there was
Yeah.
1 to 4 players versus.
Well, when that was out.
Yeah. So this is where like the landline party started.
Yeah,
People can
yeah.
play at the same system. So there was multiplayer.
It was
wasn't
really big
online.
for 2, yeah.
Yeah.
There was no lobbies or nothing or like that.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Which is fun because I think it comes from 2 different angles. I think there's people who are just the online players. And
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a storyline player, which is it's fun. And I think it's good for the gamers and developers to have both those avenues to take.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's. I'll start with you, Andy, about some things.
Okay.
Well, let's go. Anyone have any news? We'll start that way. Any new news or things you
News.
guys seen that came up? Or you want to talk about?
Mm.
I'm trying to.
you don't-
Did you see about the people? The way they worded the article, it was like to get a rise up. He was like, "Oh, Marvel completely changes Punisher's symbol." To get people on. Oh, how dare they? It's still a skull.
It's
he,
the skull.
He joins the hand. It's written by Jason Aaron. It doesn't come out yet. I'm looking forward to it. Jason Aaron's very good. And it's a skull, but it's like the hand's Asian, so it's an Asian looking skull with horns.
The
Mhm.
hand.
It's still a fucking skull.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, like I don't know if anyone's really getting.
Isn't the creator and the writer kind of pissed that the Punisher logo has
mean, a
been
lot-
adopted by the right wing
Yeah,
conservatives, and they're like, that's so far off what the Punisher would stand for.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like, well, they could just take the symbol too. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's still with Punisher, and when it's all done, he's still gonna have the classic skull.
Mhm.
It's nothing to get mad about.
Yeah, it's different variants. How many times has Batman's logo changed?
Yeah,
You know what
over
I
the
mean?
years.
Exactly.
How many different
I think
suits has
I'd
every
take-
hero had?
I
Yeah.
scratch my head more at him joining the hand. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know what's the
Yeah, bring
storyline.
your mic a little closer. Kel.
Not much has been released
Sorry.
yet. with
Yeah.
Jason and Wright, and I'm on. He wrote Punisher years ago. It was called Punisher Max. Like it ran for like 2 years. It was very good. So
All right.
I'm into it.
Awesome. If you are watching live too, make sure you hit that like and share button. It helps us out a lot. And you have any news? that you
Fright
see?
Rags is closed till January 3rd.
Yeah, inventory.
Yeah, there's every
Oh wow.
every year around this time they close for their inventory stuff. So January 3rd is when they'll be back up and running.
You want to piggyback off Nikolai? 'Cause I'm sure your news is right in front of you.
Oh, they sent us a Christmas card.
Fright
Very
Rags- Fright Rags
exciting.
pronouns, pal.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fright Rag sent us a Christmas card.
It is a really cool card.
Very
It-
cool.
It's a TV guide card,
Mhm.
and it's actually I'll read through it for you.
Oh, don't read it all. There's a
No,
lot.
so it's pretty much saying essentially what's coming up in Fright Rag 2022.
Yeah.
So we'll go through a little bit. I'm not going to go through all of it because spoiler alert, we're going to try to reach back out to Ben to have him on to kind of go over this card with us
Mm.
and talk about some things. But there are some exciting things. Not all horror movie stuff is coming to
Mm-mm.
Fright Rags
Yeah.
this year. So
So they did last year what
Back to the
last year?
Future?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They're gonna do that again.
did you? Here's just one thing. That
A
I
lot of
did
it's like 40th anniversaries too.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like
okay.
it's a 40th anniversary of Pieces, Poltergeist, Halloween 3, The Thing.
Pieces.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm not sure.
Creep Show, E.T., Basket Case, and Evil Dead. I think is celebrating 35 years. But yeah. So if you were a fan of Back to the Future, it's coming back.
No, well, not the movie.
Well, the merchandise, and it's actually going to be merchandise from all 3 movies.
dear Lord, please don't
Well,
bring that back.
no.
Don't recast that.
One
Don't-
and two
No, no,
is
no.
okay.
Give me T-shirts and stuff. I need Back to the Future 3. If you're listening, Ben.
Well, it says Back to the Future 3.
I don't need that either.
1, 2, and 3.
Listen, even
merchandise.
I will pay extra just to have one made for me, and you don't have to sell any others. That's fine.
Yeah.
No one else.
Did you know that the Toxic Avenger is coming back this next year? Toxic Avenger 2022.
For merchandise or an actual film?
A film
It has the
because
year,
of-
yeah.
because they got the exclusive
Really?
for the merchandise.
You know, if
for
they
it.
made it more like a superhero movie and not goofy trauma,
I want a goofy.
It's
trauma.
gonna be
I-
trauma.
I can't stay. I can't sit through one movies. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's like a Ben story.
Oh my
I
Yeah.
can't sit through it.
I remember the
Not
action
Ben from
figure
Fright
I
Rags.
loved.
Yeah, not Ben
from Fright Rags. No, no,
That's
no.
it.
Although the Toxic Crusaders cartoon I liked.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember more. The
Toxic
yeah.
Crusaders.
Speaking of not horror movie, E.T. is going to be getting some merchandise from Fright Rags.
That'll be cool.
RoboCop and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Another big horror one that I don't think I've ever seen Fright Rags do that I'm excited about is Twilight Zone
oh,
and Carrie.
so I wonder if
And
that
the
means
monsters.
Oh, and the
for
Monsters.
the Twilight Zone they're gonna bring back the one where the guy is in the he goes to like read his book all the time.
Library.
He goes down.
Did you buy me an
Into
art
the-
print of that?
So yes, we have the art prints of it, but that was a shirt that I obviously missed. So I'm hopefully that's a reprint.
Yeah, you
Those
bought me
two
that
back.
art print like you
Yeah,
got as a
it's
gift
him
for me.
sitting on the steps of
Or
the
did you buy it?
library
Yeah,
with
that's-
everything destroyed.
And his broken
Oh,
glass.
yeah, and his broken glasses are in it. It's actually really cool. So hopefully that comes.
The
back.
only thing I would say is you're doing Carrie, and if you're listening, Ben, maybe for 2023, we need Cujo merchandise. I want some Cujo merchandise. It's my favorite.
Is that like maybe wrapped up within Stephen King though?
Yeah, but I mean,
Mhm.
they've done Carrie, they've done
Yeah,
Creep
so,
Show,
yeah.
they've had
So-
Stephen King, they've had a
Okay.
Stephen King T-shirt.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they've done a lot of Stephen King merchandise. So it'd be cool to maybe.
I didn't realize Carrie was Stephen King.
I just started reading Carrie, by the way.
Yeah, so really excited for Fright Rags, and very thankful very much. Thank you very much for sending us a card,
Sending me a card. Thank you.
us, because all of the merch. Every time I order, I want something. I just tell her to order for me,
It
so
was
it looks
addressed
as if
to me.
Heidi's the hero of the family. But Most of the T-shirts are mine that we've ordered.
But it was addressed to me.
I do like that they all have it signed in there.
Yeah,
like each
that's
of their,
cool.
their
Yeah.
crew and stuff.
They're a
That's
great
cool
team.
too, yeah.
Did they ever do the Lost Boys?
Yes.
Did they?
No.
Lost
Maybe.
Boys.
I don't know.
Could be wrong. Yeah.
I've never seen the Lost Boys, so it's not necessarily on my radar.
Oh.
Wow.
I'll have to look that.
That's
I don't
crazy.
remember seeing it.
That could be a
Kelly's
future.
like, I'm out. I quit.
That could be a future episode, a movie that really like means a lot to you, and not like a wacky one that like people normally hate but you love, but like a
Yeah.
movie you're like I've never
It
seen
means a
Lost
lot to
Boys.
you,
Yeah.
Like I've never seen Lost Boys, or I've never seen like we should like challenge each other to watch a movie that
Yeah.
we've
Sure.
never seen before.
I mean, I will say I never watched Dexter until Fright Rags was like, "Hey, we're having a line," and then I binged the entire series
That's a lot.
That's a lot of.
before it
Wow.
released.
Well, that was an easy
A lot of
binge, though,
time.
too.
Yeah, it was.
I'm looking on the table. Are you wearing a Fright Rags?
Obviously.
Is that a real
Wait.
question?
I'm not the only one then. Are you wearing?
I'm not
No?
today.
No.
Not today.
I know. I only have the Elvira button. That's it.
I did earlier,
No,
but then I changed
I'm
my shirt.
I
I'm
don't
like
have any from them. So
4
hey,
shirts away from
make some
100.
Lost Boys ones.
There's a lot on there. I'm
There's
wearing
so
I'm wearing
much.
my good guy, my friends to the end shirt, and
How hard it was
my
to find
Chucky
this
hat.
one. It was
Really?
hard to find a nice Lost Boys shirt.
I have a Lost Boy shirt I got from a crate, and it's like Frog Brothers Vampire Hunters.
Oh, that would have been cute too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like
it
a
was
it's like
cool.
a vampire skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones where it looks like a business advertisement, but you wouldn't know unless you know.
Yeah.
I really wanted like something with people are like the people are strange because that's like the opening song and the people are strange.
Yeah.
from the more John Morrison or not John
The
Morrison.
Doors.
The Doors.
Doors.
That's it.
But
So,
Anthony, news.
So Monster Mania posted something. I believe it was either today or yesterday. It was Anthony Michael Hall is going to be at Monster Mania in March.
Called it. We
Cool.
nailed it.
Very
We
cool.
said it was coming.
I'm drawing a blank on who he is.
Dexter.
He is
Oh,
okay,
wait.
the kid
Michael
from,
C. Hall.
I was-
yeah,
I was
I'm
thinking
thinking
the
Doogie
wrong one.
Howser.
Michael
I was
Hall.
like,
He's the kid from
Plays Tommy.
Vacation or the very first Vacation movie.
Oh, no,
and-
I think we're talking about.
Oh, he's
Oh, no,
the 80s
that is
actor.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
talking
No,
about?
the
Yeah,
80s
yeah.
actor.
He's the
My-
same guy.
Michael
Yeah.
Hall
The
is
Breakfast
the kid
Club.
from the
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club. Yep.
Yeah.
He was the brain in.
He has no
And
hair.
16 candles. No hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in Halloween.
Oh.
The new one.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
Tommy.
yeah, yeah.
I'm lost.
I was thinking something else for some reason when
Hold
you
on.
said that.
I'll
to
pull
me.
up.
You never
I know
seen
who you
16
mean.
Candles, Breakfast Club?
I wouldn't.
Pretty in Pink.
I wouldn't watch it if you paid me.
He wasn't in Pretty. Was he in Pretty?
Yeah, he was
No.
Pretty in Pink.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he?
That's actually
That-
one I've never
I think
seen,
that was
so-
John Cryer who was in Pretty.
Oh,
in Pink.
I think
Alright,
he's the only
well,
Brad Pack that wasn't in Pretty
This
in
is
Pink.
the guy.
No.
That
Was
one
that
of
the
them
one
are-
where
at least
they
from
were
today.
like-
Okay.
I think
Oh,
was it
he's in
Molly
Weird
Ringwald in
Science.
Pretty in Pink?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was in
yeah,
Weird
yeah,
Science.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
He was. It was only Molly Ringwald.
Did you
I
see
think. In Pretty. in Pink.
St. Elmo's Fire.
No, I've never seen that either.
That's another
Was
one of the
he-
Brad Pack movies.
Yeah, I didn't watch most of. I like the Breakfast Club, and that was.
But
About
there was a
it.
group of like
There's some of them
teenagers
that
at
are
one time.
too girly. I guess too girly for me.
I love the Breakfast Club. That's like my guilty
Breakfast
pleasure
Club
movie.
is a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Breakfast
I
Club is
like
good.
Pretty. I like 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink too. They're funny. Anyway, Kelly, our news.
The Witcher dropped on Friday, so Witcher season 2 is out. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I'm hearing good reviews on it. So
I
watch The
any of it.
Witcher.
I'd like to
Yeah.
check it out.
I kind of want to play the game, but every time I try to play it, I'm like, I hate the
I
controls.
don't think you'd like it.
and
Yeah.
the cast is committed to doing all 7 seasons, so it looks like the
Wow.
cast is going to stay the same for 7 seasons on Netflix.
So-
And they're doing many
We'll see.
spin-offs too. They're doing
we'll see.
prequels, and yeah, there's already an anime prequel on Netflix on it.
Oh, okay.
But now they're doing another one from the Blood of the Elves, I guess it is.
Mm.
I haven't seen it, but I saw an interview with Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
And they talk about is it Warhammer? Is that the game?
Or the Warcraft.
How? No.
Or
Gears
the-
of was
Um,
it Gears of War?
No, it's where you paint the miniatures.
That's 3 different things you just said. Okay?
Yeah. There's like 3 different games happening right now.
Just one-
But Warhammer is the one, right?
Yes, Warhammer, and
So-
there's Warhammer 40Ks in the future, and you get your miniatures and you paint them, and he's really big into that.
That's
Yeah.
what Steve plays.
Yes, yeah. When
Steven-
he brought,
Steven, we did a whole
Well, he-
episode on their figures.
It's like a WCW version, Malifaux.
Malifaux.
So it's not Warhammer; it's like a rival.
Yes, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's more like turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it's
with
more
toys.
about the moving the
Action figures.
miniatures around.
Miniatures.
Miniatures,
There.
right? You get it right.
Yeah. Don't want all that hate
Yeah.
comments.
when
about
Steve
moving
brought it up,
miniatures,
like
right?
that was a cool thing about
It's a
Steve.
lot
like,
of talent. in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve and Mark were into it. Now that was like some of my favorite episodes because it was like we did a Dungeons and Dragons episode. And I knew nothing about it going in, so I like learning about stuff like
Yeah.
that. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Well,
yeah,
it was funny because in the interview, they were like, "So what do you do with them after you paint them?" And he's like, "Well, you get together with other people that have the little armies, and then you fight each other."
yeah,
Yeah.
like super into it.
And it's a lot of money. Like the paint's expensive, and some of the the
How big are
vehicles and
they?
stuff.
Some of them are like
Yeah, you ever see a D&D little miniatures? They're called. So
No,
they're like
I never played D&D. Always wanted to, but
They're about the
didn't-
size of a quarter machine.
Yeah, about
toy.
half the size
Okay.
of this crystal, so an inch big. But some are bigger. So if you got a dragon, the dragon may be real big,
Yeah.
and the monsters could be bigger.
And you
then
gotta paint
Warhammer's
that.
all different
Mhm.
sizes. The vehicles,
Wow.
the big like ships, and then the little
Yeah.
soldiers. So it's all different sizes. But they're expensive, and you got to put together yourself and then paint it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so intricate.
Well, kind of getting into
It's
what we're
hard.
going to talk about later with Halo, that style of game is pretty much what like a Halo Combat Evolve or a Halo Wars is. It's like instead of having your miniatures,
the
it's,
real time strategy. So it's a tabletop real.
it's like it's all
you
it's
could say that,
it's
yeah.
it's a video game version of a tabletop strategy game. Yeah,
a pen and paper.
Yeah. It's all pen and paper, which I prefer the video game because they do all that work for you.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's fun, but it's
What was
a
the
lot.
car one we were going to try to do?
Gas lines?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that never panned
Yeah, we
out.
played it once.
Motor
I didn't
Simulator.
play it. I
Yeah,
wasn't there.
it's really fun. It's Dungeons and Dragons with cars, and you can fight.
It's like a
and race.
destruction derby twist of metal.
Yeah, and then there's races you can do, and then you have weapons, and you can roll dice to fire your weapons.
I literally just picture a bunch of little kids with their racetracks and cars.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. Except you could. So
Except they're grown adults.
guys would modify the cars and like put little guns on them and stuff, and make them look like
It
Mad
just
Max.
sounds like Mad Max.
Yeah.
With Death Race.
It's very
Right.
much Mad Max.
Yeah.
Netflix, speaking of that, they're gonna do a live action Mega Man movie.
Really?
I'm for it. It'd probably be horrible.
Who are they going to cast?
They didn't say anything. They said that
they
I don't know. You could get any
They
kid
dropped
to be Mega.
they
Man.
dropped the trailer
I'll do it.
during Spider-Man for Sonic
Sonic 2.
2.
Well,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that actually came out
Mhm.
before. That came out the video game show.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, Knuckles looks good. Tails
Yeah.
looks good. And I like how they're flying the plane from the last level of 2.
Yeah.
Sonic 2.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I didn't see the first one, but I want to.
It was good.
I didn't see the
That's
whole
fun, yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
I think Sonic, as of right now, can go down as the best video game movie.
I feel like
I don't.
if they didn't screw up the skin in the first place,
Oh,
it wouldn't
yeah.
be talked about as much.
But it was
as
only
is.
it was only in a trailer. Like the trailer
I
came out,
know.
people were like no, and then
But
they
that's what I
changed it.
mean. That if it didn't blow up because of that particular instance, we might not be talking
Because Sonic
about
2
it
looks
as
really
much.
fucking good.
Yeah.
And like everyone said, like Jim Carrey as like the
Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik was
Yeah.
crazy good, and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Idris Elba's Knuckles.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I
don't
think the
know
guy
voice
who's
is-
doing Tails is the voice actor for
Well,
Tails.
it's a girl, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the same voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks really good. And they show like a Chaos Stone in it. It looks
Chaos Emerald.
Emerald,
right?
yeah.
Jeez.
sorry, I'm not
Gotta
a big
get your
Sonic.
stones, emeralds.
Some losers gonna listen to the
crystals,
show and be like,
all straight.
Fuck
fucking
that guy.
assholes. I just said loser.
We
but
have
it's
had
okay. It's okay. I'm a loser.
Yeah, we've had people commenting and
They're
showing
called
us love
miniatures, okay?
on our brand new YouTube page. So if you are watching this on Facebook or you're listening to the audio, head over to our YouTube channel
Mhm.
and subscribe. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, it will hyperlink you, and you can literally you don't even click on it. You just hit subscribe. You can subscribe to all our new channels as well as Anthony and Nikolai's
Oh,
channel.
cool. Yeah.
And we also put up a friend's channel up there called Slasher Scotty, we've all three of us have been on now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He kind of promoted our page, so I gave him the love of putting him on our page, and we're gonna do the same thing. So if you want to like joint brand and you want to put our page on your thing to kind of like help each other grow, I'm down for it. You know?
Oh, yeah. Peacemaker hitting HBO Max January 13th with John Cena.
Oh yeah.
I'm for it. A lot of people were shitting on that. I was like, why would you? And then there's some people that didn't watch the whole movie, didn't watch the credits.
Well,
Spoiler alert if you didn't
yeah,
see Suicide Squad.
Right.
Mhm.
He's dead. How are you going to make a
I think
series
people
about him?
were just so pissed off.
You didn't
at
watch
him
the credits.
Yeah.
in the movie. Actually,
Yeah.
He's so good.
There are people
I-
that didn't like the character because
What
he's a
character?
bad guy.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Oh,
So therefore,
The
they
guy
can't
who
watch
said
the
that
series because
the
he's a
fellow was
bad
bad.
guy.
see, no, I'm gonna watch the movie, but
It'd be like
I'm
you're
so,
mad.
I'm still pissed.
Yeah.
Spoiler: he kills Rick Flag. I was
Yeah.
so pissed at that moment, but
That was
that's actually one of the only scenes I've seen. From
I
that
can't
movie.
watch a bad guy who's funny in a movie.
Yeah, 'cause
When's
he's a bad
Deadpool
guy.
3 coming out?
Yeah. He's a bad guy. It makes no sense. Like you're mad at the character.
Yeah, villains who have their own movies not good. Joker, Venom,
Yeah. That'd be
Deadpool.
more.
Shut the fuck.
I don't know. I don't.
I don't know.
understand
The eagle in that movie just looks hilarious. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it looks so funny.
I actually just ordered because I'm missing 2 DC movies from my collection. I have all the DC
Mhm.
movies, like the ones at least my collection, at least the animated and stuff. So I ordered Injustice and Suicide Squad. They're the only 2 I'm
Oh
missing.
yeah, Suicide Squad.
The
uh,
new Suicide Squad.
Oh, you mean the
new
live
one.
action?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the cartoon. Sorry.
No, I
sorry,
have the
sorry,
cartoon.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the only 2 I have. And then I ordered because I had gift cards from work that I had to get rid of. I ordered phase 1, 2, and 3 of the Marvel series, like a box set.
Oh, okay.
So when they come in, I'll do like an unboxing video.
yeah.
So we are bringing back unboxing. So if anyone has subscription crates and you want to bring them along, we could do them on the show afterwards and stuff. I do have we have 2 or 3 more to do, but I'm gonna undo. And if you have like a DVD set or anything, we could do that as well. So I'm gonna do the unboxing of the Marvel ones. It comes with Marvel phase 1, 2, and 3. But
So what is that up to then?
it'll catch you up to all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, but what's the last one that's in it? You know, like Infinity War?
Homecoming.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. But that's so phase 3 is broken up into 2 parts. You have to buy 2 different box sets. So it's phase 3 part 1 and phase 3 part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Phase 3 part 2 has a lot. Like they cram a lot in
Well, yeah, that'd be like Ant-Man and Wasps and
and then Endgame and all that. So it goes Endgame, then Homecoming, and then it's done.
yeah.
And
And
then
it would probably cut off at what? Well, Eternals obviously wouldn't be in it. Black Widow probably not in it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think Black Widow is technically the start of
4, yeah, that's
of the
right.
phase 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think the TV shows are counting even though.
No.
Yeah.
It's just movies.
So yeah, that's coming out soon.
Or
so
maybe they do.
yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that then too. Anything news, Heidi? Do you have anything or your Fright Rex thing?
Yeah.
I really have no news. That big thing is, but video games been playing. Started the Halo series, but we'll talk about that later. I haven't gotten super far into it. Been playing a lot of Fortnite.
I'm near the end.
Playing tons of Fortnite. New season.
We're almost done,
Yeah.
and it's only week 2.
Yeah. We're doing the milestones, which is something so that they made it really, really simple. If you're a Fortnite player, if you're not, I'm sorry, but they made it really simple to see your progression. Before it was kind of like when you got close to a challenge, it would kind of say, hey, you're close, and it would like kind of put on the screen.
Like
But now you can
tracker.
like actually see everything, and you're like, oh, I have to do this much to get this done.
Okay.
And now that they added that, our fucking OCD Fortnite brains are like, we need to finish it in a
Yeah.
week.
And it only goes up to 10 tiers, which I have capped out. So now all the other ones are pointless.
Well, you can still get experience.
I mean, yes, but like it doesn't go
You won't
towards
get major
extra
bonuses.
yeah,
bonus
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's like working for no pay.
Kind
kind of, a little bit. Yeah.
Then you just
but
wait
like
until
we've
they-
also rigged it. Like we found ways built in the map. Like one's destroy trees. There's literally an entire path filled with trees and fireflies. Yeah,
No, we just throw
yeah,
fireflies,
just
and
throw
they burn
fireflies
down.
and burn them all down.
Oh,
with
So like
one
the map
fire.
is when we're
Yeah.
done, the map is completely
a
bare.
wasteland.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But the new season's really cool. Spider-Man is in the new season, and they
Mhm.
just added
Well,
Tom
Peter?
Holland,
Oh, okay.
Tom
and
Holland
Classic
and
Spider-Man?
MJ,
and
or-
MJ
yeah,
from the movies.
Oh, okay.
And the Matrix is coming. They just added
Mhm.
some Matrix stuff.
Oh.
That actually,
I heard the Matrix, the new one, is more
Off-
funny than normal.
I heard it. They got a
Interesting.
4
I didn't see
on
it.
IGN.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah.
oh,
The third one was not very
That's
good.
rough.
And even the second one was I thought it was cool, but a lot of people didn't like it.
IGN said they tried to cram too much in, and it was.
I can see
Oh.
that.
They said it had potential to be good, but it was awful.
I just think it was too early. Or
It's a-
something. I don't know.
It's like a relaunch, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, like Keanu Reeves, like I saw an interview with him about it, like when they first like talked about it, and he talked to the director, and he was like, "Aren't I dead?" And he's like, "Are you?"
Oh,
Like,
I don't know.
Well, 2 big things that we're gonna cut for Keanu Reeves this year. One in the video game world, and one in the movie world. Both took a fucking nosedive.
You know,
So-
but
so-
what's been coming back has been getting positive reviews because
that?
of the patches. Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and because it's they brought back the PlayStation Network and they brought back to Steam or whatever,
Mhm.
and now that it's
Is it
patches
playing
stuff,
well on the older systems, or are they like, did they abandon that?
I don't know. I think it's better, but like this is the newer, like I guess whatever
Yeah.
people will get it on Xbox Series X and
It
PlayStation
played
5.
fine on the 5 and the Series
Yeah,
X.
well now like it's been like because I've been watching the one Spawn Wave he talks about like the positive reviews are going up and it's like we're making more money now and it's cheaper and it's like wow people are like turning around on Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
They fix a lot of stuff. I mean
Yeah.
it's a year later, but
So I'll wait till it goes really on sale before I pick that game up. Like I'm talking like $20. Yeah, I don't want to risk it, but it looks fun.
I don't want to risk it.
I don't want to risk it. Just like the Avengers game, I won't buy it. I'll wait until now it's on Game Pass.
I would say don't wait
yeah, it's
because
on Game Pass.
it's not. It's okay
Yeah.
at the best.
What have you been playing?
Halo. That's it.
Nothing else?
I tried to hammer. I was doing everything on the map. I didn't get to play anything else at all.
It eventually turns into an open world, right?
Yeah, like
Exciting.
Mission 3. And you come out like Fallout. I don't even play Fallout. So like in the beginning, you start like you're in a base and stuff, and then when you get to just like the open the vault scene they call it, and that's like you're at the vault and it's like and the light comes in and it starts blinding you, and you come out and it's open world. It's
It
like
looks gorgeous.
same thing in Halo.
Yeah, it looks absolutely stunning.
A lot of stuff they didn't add yet too. There's supposed to be like real time weather effects and stuff
Mhm.
or whatever, but they didn't add that yet. Fog, like when you get the higher levels. But
Yeah. they're really gonna lean into the cloud gaming with that, where they're gonna add a lot of crazy shit. And that's why it's called Infinite, because they don't plan on making any more Halos. They want to keep adding to it.
Well, unless they can make money.
I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
eventually they'll be like,
Yeah,
oh, we're
yeah.
running out.
Well,
Let's make
people-
more.
Yeah, a couple years down the line when one hasn't been released. Oh, well,
I mean,
Halo
yeah,
remembered or some shit.
Infinite, like they'll keep making maps and stuff, and then
Remember.
like, well, here's a new story with these new characters. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Make double the money.
Well, you could make money and just sell it as DLC.
Yeah, but
Probably
why you-
not as
but make a
much.
new game, and then you get two going at once.
I agree, but a lot of people are really now saying, consumers are dominating
There
the
is
market.
absolutely no way they never make another one.
I don't. Fortnite
Forever?
has changed the world, man.
Halo is not Fortnite. Don't dare compare them.
Just Fortnite, Halo, Fortnite has almost
They
probably,
make a new Call of Duty every year.
and people are not buying it this year.
They're still
I
buy
didn't
it.
buy it.
Yeah,
I-
this year's
I-
Call
I
of
don't
Duty
buy
has
it.
tanked. You know why?
Yeah.
Because everyone
Because
just
it's
stays
the
on.
It's the same shit every year.
That's why people like gamers
But
are like, if you're not
Has
into-
Fortnite not been the same shit since it started?
Yeah,
No.
but it's free.
Yeah, it's
It's-
free.
it's
It's free. They can't complain.
it's
yeah.
free, but it's almost
Yeah.
a brand new game every time with the
Yeah.
stuff they
Wow.
They
I mean,
changed the map and
They're
everything.
still doing the same stuff.
Sure, it's all.
Sure, any game is.
Yeah.
If it's a shooter, it's going to stay a shooter.
I'm just waiting for NFL to tank.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that game to end
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, well, they said
Because people are like, why the fuck are we doing this when you can just give us a DLC to
Yeah.
update the roster?
I've been saying that for years.
Well, a lot
so
of
have,
times,
so has NFL fans.
well, nothing changes. That's
Yeah.
the thing with the Madden games. They didn't
Yeah.
like the fans said
Just
nothing.
update the roster and
And
call it a day.
they said that same thing with FIFA too, the soccer game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing
Sports
really
games in
changed.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us a new, give us DLC
If-
or
Or
give us
if you're
roster
going to change
updates.
the whole gameplay and everything, then then
Sure,
make a new
yeah.
game.
Sure. I
Absolutely.
mean, we have to download, over 100 gig game anyway to the system. Why not just update it? I have so many updates for the old Call of Duty still
No call.
that rank up to 2 new games.
Yeah.
So why can't
Well, 'cause
others
the
do that?
consumer gaming consumers are speaking now, and I mean, all multimedia gamers are people are talking like, well, if I'm going to the theater and I can watch it from HBO Max and the streams are killing it, or instead of waiting for it on TV, I can watch it on Netflix, or I can download Spotify and listen to all my music, or I can go here and consume everything on a Game Pass. Consumers are saying we don't want to be fucking duped anymore, and I just can't really. I see a lot of games going that route now, and the ones who are trying to stay that year by year, every year put a new game out, they're dying. Like
You don't have to make a game every year. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want a Skyrim every year.
yeah, we'll just make the same.
But
game
I don't want
release it.
I don't want
sometimes.
one game and you keep adding to one game. Too much shit in one bag. You know what I'm saying?
Well, some stuff
Eventually
goes.
you got to make a new game.
Some stuff goes away, but and then some like so.
Yeah, but then you lost all the old. Like, why not just make it like? You can't
So-
say I want this movie to keep on going forever. Keep on continuing this one movie,
Yeah, but it's apples and oranges.
and then after the certain point, we're gonna get rid of the old story, and that just didn't happen.
So I like what Call of Duty's doing. As much as I didn't buy the new game, they keep their Warzone.
Yeah.
Right? That keeps going.
And
for
that's free.
Yeah.
for everybody. But if you want to buy the new game, it has that story. So maybe if that was a route where there was a part like multiplayer always stays the same, but like if they have a game 3 games later that you buy a character from that, you can play it.
So
for
the,
yeah.
people
game,
that
the game
don't.
that's hurting real bad right now, and it looks fantastic, and people are like, I mean, it looked fantastic in the trailer, but people
Oh,
are like,
Battlefield.
Battlefield's
Yeah.
like, we're not doing a story, and we're still going to charge you $60 for an online experience, and people are like, I can go play Warzone, Fortnite, and Halo for free. Why the
Yeah.
fuck am I paying you
And
$60?
a lot of it was broken too. Like,
Yeah.
I seen a video guy was shooting a guy, and he just wasn't hitting him for some reason.
Yeah,
It's like zoomed in.
I'll give
right at him.
I'll give
shooting.
Fortnite $80 a year on tokens and buy skins, because I feel like when I buy a skin, they take my money and go get cool licenses to add
Yeah.
more to the game, and they update it all the fucking time. It makes it feel like
Right.
it makes me feel like I'm
Like, I didn't realize this, but I stopped playing Dead by Daylight because I bought skins like Scream, like I had Ghostface on there, but then I have to buy all of his other skins within that skin.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought the character, I should just have it. Like if
Yep.
it's available right now, I shouldn't have to do any of these extra things. Or charge me once, I'll buy the whole damn thing. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep doing like 20 purchases just
that's
consumers are
tough.
speaking now, and they're changing the way things are being done. It's which is good. It's good
Yeah.
for people to speak up. So which is awesome. Nikolai, what have you been playing or watching or doing?
well, saw Spider-Man twice. Me and Anthony went twice. I watched since we were here last, got to see the next 2 episodes of Dexter.
Okay.
So this one that I just watched yesterday was a little bit on the slower side because the last 2 episodes before this were like so jam packed, and it was like
This is the filler
like,
one.
high tension, kind of. But I don't really necessarily want to spoil anything for anybody
Yeah,
who
yeah.
hasn't watched it yet. I mean, it's still a good episode. It still has its purpose and stuff, but it wasn't as like fast paced as the other two. Right?
It's like a Walking Dead episode where they just kind of talk for the 60 minutes because
kind of.
you're setting up a
filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that. They're setting up these bigger things that are going to come down the road within the next 3 episodes, because I believe they're capped at 10. So the bad guy is not caught or anything like that. So they obviously have to make a push to finish that storyline, unless they're going to have him continue in a season 2, maybe.
They'll see. I think they're keeping it very close to the chest to see if it gets greenlit again.
Yeah.
Money.
But it was supposed to be just a mini series.
Yeah.
So that's
It's supposed
why
to be 7-8 episodes.
Yeah, and that's done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that money.
Because they fucking ruined the ending.
Yeah.
they didn't. They did not ruin the ending for someone who
a lot of people
binge
didn't
watched.
like that. I mean, I didn't.
I didn't wait 8 years to find out that ending. I can understand people like that who are upset.
Awful.
I waited a month.
Yeah. So.
I was not upset.
Yeah.
And then to find out there was another one coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we ended that and we're just like that's it forever. That was 7 years of our lives. And it's done forever. That's how we're ending.
I
Yeah,
I
long.
finished it on Netflix too, so I was
Yeah.
like you. It's like, oh, really?
Well,
This is how this
I
is
just
ending?
never finished
Like,
Funny, because I've had the box set for years,
Mhm.
and until Fright Rags was like, "Hey, we're coming out of the thing," I had to open it. I was like, "This is it," because it came in like a big white mannequin. It had the shoulders and the head.
Yeah.
You unscrew the top of the head, and all the discs pop out the top.
Oh wow.
So it actually is pretty cool, but it's a pain in the ass to get the discs out. So that's why I kind of avoided opening it. Just
Yeah.
Never
until
open
this
it.
moment. Yeah. But Anthony actually showed me a trailer for a movie that I'm super excited for, and I remembered it after we did news stuff. Nicolas Cage is doing a new movie where he plays Nicolas Cage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. The trailer is fantastic. The movie title is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Ooh.
It's going to be a 2022 movie.
The unbearable weight of massive
Yeah.
It
talent.
should be more the unbearable weight of gambling debt.
Well, that's kind of what the story,
Well,
the
that's
trailer
kind of what
opens
he
up.
was.
And he lives in a casino. I think it's a casino, but it's a hotel. And Neil Patrick Harris is there with him in the spa, and he's like, "Listen, you've been here for like a year. You owe this place like $600,000, but there's a guy that wants to invite you to his birthday party, and he'll pay you $1 million to come to his birthday." And then it's like a crazy adventure from there.
Yeah.
Like, so he's on some island or something.
How the fuck do
But-
famous and rich people go broke? Because like
I
people
don't
are
You know
always
how
gonna,
they do?
Well, you know
people
how-
are
I can
always
tell
gonna
ya.
fucking clout chase you and
Uh-huh.
fucking suck your balls.
Yeah, but
Always.
It's like local people that that are broke all the time.
I'm not saying I'm saying a guy who is in
Yeah,
fucking
but it's the same way. Like, think of a local person that's broke all the time.
Mhm.
Okay, now give that person lots of money. Okay, they're still gonna blow it on things.
it's not so much the money, it's the fact that you can show up at a con.
Yeah.
If you're fucking Nicolas Cage and you own $600 million,
Yeah,
you can literally be like, I'm gonna drive to this, or like a wrestler.
yeah,
Like I can drive to a fucking thing. Don't pay me a dime. I'm just gonna set up here and sign shit.
yeah. And
You
sell
can walk out with fucking $400, $500. Like you can make a fucking week's worth
Well,
of
yeah, they
work
can
in
make
2
money
hours.
unless they,
It's so
they don't
easy,
want to make
yeah.
money. Yeah,
Because people are like, oh my god, like fucking. It comes to like, I guess what it comes down to is if. when
But then
you
if
get
you
to
make
that-
all that money, then you immediately blow it.
Probably.
yeah,
I
it
don't
comes down to poor management. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, it comes down to like, I'm too big for this at this point or something. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
it's just like fucking.
So I don't know. I'm excited to see it just because it looks funny.
Oh, it sounds funny.
But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
Anthony.
I've been playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid lately. It's the console fighting game for Power Rangers where you do 3-on-3. And they just released Rita Repulsa just last week. And I went through the arcade mode, did a YouTube video for that. And it was pretty fun
Mhm.
playing as her.
And what happened? Because
Uh,
I know you're
that-
probably not going to talk about it.
That one did not get shared.
Okay, but
There was a video before that got shared by the Power Rangers Legacy War page through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
and did
Yeah.
they reached out to you, right?
Yeah, they sent me a private message on Twitter. They wanted to know my Instagram handle and stuff. So I
you
sent
go.
them the credentials and
Cool.
that was it.
Very cool.
So we're gonna be doing a Power Ranger episode.
Yeah.
Kelly.
I'm not watching anything or doing anything much besides baking cookies and watching Christmas movies. But there is two. There
like
is-
half of that.
You like half of that. There is
It's the
two,
Christmas
two
movies,
pieces
right?
of news though I'd like to say too. And the first one before I forget it, anybody who likes Peaky Blinders out there, this will be the last and final season of Peaky Blinders. Now it's stopping at season 6, which is kind of sad. Everybody loves Tommy Shelby and the Shelby clan. And
Is that Europe, right? That's all in Europe.
yeah,
you-
that's in in
the UK.
London,
The UK.
UK. Yeah, so that's set. It's a period drama. It's about basically it starts off as horse racing and then he gets into politics and stuff. Like he's a gang. It's almost kind of like a Godfather movie, but
British.
British and yeah, and he's like half Romery, half like English. So he's in between worlds there too.
Okay.
So it's really neat though. I do
I always
recommend it.
I always get them confused. That show confused with
I-
Boardwalk Empire.
I
Mm.
recommend it to anybody. And Boardwalk was good though too, but this is better than Boardwalk. Tom Hardy's also in it, and he comes back from the dead actually in this one.
Oh,
And yeah,
Oh shit!
he's not at his cutest in this because he plays like this older Jewish guy that that's making whiskey and rye, and he has like long straggly hair and stuff.
And that'll be the day he dies.
I bet his accent's better than Bane.
Oh, but he's excellent acting in it. Excellent. And Cobra Kai, December 31st starts. new
Is that season 2 or 3?
I haven't watched
That's
any of it.
4.
I never watched the original
That's
movies
4.
though. Oh, 4. Wow.
4.
Good for
Yeah.
that
Is
show.
this the
coming back.
season when the turtles are going to be in it?
No.
Oh yeah, they had the
No.
toys, the Turtles Cobra Kai crossover.
They do. Yeah, they have
Mhm.
the 2 packs
Oh.
with the different characters.
It was the end
Yeah.
of December.
Boy, that
Yeah, the end of
shuts that up.
December. Yeah. So they're
Very
going to
cool.
go a couple more seasons with this, I guess.
Apparently it's a
So-
hit. I mean, yeah.
It
It
it's
is. It's
awesome.
really
It makes you
good.
think, like you go back, like what old movie
Yeah,
was
can-
like that they made like 6 of them. And you're like, you can only watch one. Can we make a fucking entire TV show out
and
of it?
just keep it going.
Johnny Lawrence, baby.
It's so
And he's
insane.
another actor that aged like a fine wine. Like he looks exactly like he did in the first Cobra or in the first Karate Kid.
Who we talking about?
Yeah.
The main character in
Machio?
Yeah, what's
No,
his
the
name?
other one.
No,
The
not
bad
much.
kid. The bad guy.
Oh, Ralph
Oh.
Macchio.
Johnny Lawrence. What's
The-
isn't
The
he
true
Johnny?
Karate Kid.
Yeah, it's Johnny Lawrence in that, right? His real name's William Zabka.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's Johnny Lawrence.
I can't help
I'm
you.
just thinking of
Zapka.
Joey Lawrence.
Zabka. There you go.
Whoa.
Nikolai's got it.
I only know him.
Oh,
from How I
Joey
Met
Lawrence.
Mother.
He looks like a machine now.
Joey Lawrence.
He looks so fake. Yeah.
Really?
He was on some show. I don't know what I seen it. And he just looks
No,
like
I
total
don't-
plastic surgery. He looks
I don't know
horrible.
him. Joey Lawrence.
you
like,
would to see him. I think.
Completely fake.
Oh, so yeah, we met him.
Yeah.
I was like, Joey, why does this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's super different looking.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He looks like an
like,
alien.
I
came
think
down
he
and
lost
they made
a lot of weight.
They
Oh,
made
Friends,
Joey
right?
Lawrence out of like
No.
No.
putty.
Oh,
He looks like a
man.
Ken doll.
Yeah, he looks
Yes.
Like
I
there's not a wrinkle on him. He's just like
completely fake. Yeah.
No. That's
What's
No,
he
no, no.
playing?
That's not a good picture.
yeah, that's definitely
Blossom.
not a good.
Remember that show in the
Wow.
90s with the girl with the big
yeah,
nose?
Yeah, no, see that was
I didn't
again,
watch it, but
too
That-
girly for me.
yeah,
Again.
that.
That is what you're talking about.
Yeah. He doesn't look human.
He looks like
He's
Oh,
made
guy
of
in
he
the
lost
clay.
a lot of weight.
Yeah.
maybe
I
he's
think
maybe he's on that baby diet.
Where he's eating,
don't know.
The
drinking baby blood.
Hollywood elite. He's getting that adrenal gland.
Like,
However,
what baby
speaking
diet
of
is
him,
Baby
he is getting back together with his brothers to make a movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then after that, from what he told me, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I don't care. I'm
Fuck.
excited about it.
But
You shouldn't have
Brotherly
told him.
Love is coming out on disc. So if you've been waiting for years like I have, it's coming out. I don't know when, but it's coming out.
what was that?
I feel
That
like it
show?
sounds
Yes,
familiar, but
so
I can't think
It
of
was a show that he did with his 2 brothers. It hopped around from a couple networks. When I saw it was on Disney.
Okay.
Like they did episodes where the Crypt Keeper showed up. They had
Oh.
one where because they work at this garage and Joey like
didn't
fixes
see it.
cars and stuff. And the one episode that I particularly remember, which you guys I'm sure will enjoy, this old British guy shows up and is like, "Can you fix my car?" And he wheels the car in, and it's the Batmobile.
Oh.
And Joey finds like a Batman outfit and gives his little brother a Robin outfit, and
That's
they go cruise the town, and like he climbs up the side of the building to take him out
Yeah.
and stuff. It's actually a really fun episode. But
I kind of vaguely remember the show a little bit, but I
I don't
can't say
know. I
watched
know
it.
nothing about it.
No.
Heidi.
Lost.
I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies on repeat.
Ugh. Well,
But
been a great household.
today I just watched Being the Ricardos. It just came out on Prime.
Right to sleep.
Ricky Ricardo?
Yeah,
It's Ricky and Lucy.
Oh,
Ricky
okay.
and Lucy, and it's
Yes.
Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem, and it was good. I feel like it just kind of ended. I thought there should.
Now, what is it? A show or
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's like about their life.
It's from like season 2 of Lucy when the press pretty much finds out she's part of the Communist Party because at one point in time when she was like a kid they fucking like checked this box and she checked it not knowing.
Well,
what
she
it
did
was.
like her grandfather was apparently part of it, so he like raised her, so she checked the box for him.
Yeah.
But really,
but she
she's
never
not a
she
communist.
never supported it.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
did it like I think at one point in time when I first signed up, I think I signed up as a Republican. My first time I ever
Yeah, 'cause
voted.
you don't know
Because you're like, oh, Dad, what
Mhm.
should I put
Yeah,
here? And
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh, you put this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something. It was on those lines, and then it was kind of like their story of behind. It's
So it's
Especially
like behind the scenes,
especially
more.
back then. You're a commie
Yeah.
killer.
if you
It's
know
more
a
like
lot
behind
about
the scenes. Yeah.
Lucy and Ricky, you're not going to get anything different out of this than you already knew. I'm sorry, the guy who played Ricky's voice was awful.
Was it?
This guy.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
It was not a good Ricky
I
voice.
didn't love it.
And I never once felt like I was watching, like,
The show.
I never adapted to any of those
Not
characters. Like,
really.
there was a biopic that we watched that was all no-name actors.
That one
It
was really good.
1,000 times better than this. The
Yeah.
only good person in this movie was the guy who played Fred, and it was the guy who plays fucking the reporter in Spider-Man.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
Yeah,
Simmons.
J.K.
Oh,
J.K.
that's-
Simmons
that's a
played
good Fred.
he played Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. The rest of it was just meh. And Jake Lacey was in The Office, was in it.
Now what's that on?
Prime, Amazon Prime.
Oh,
What
okay.
was it? What's her name? Fucking
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman was
I
not a
didn't
good
love.
Lucy.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't.
not big on her.
I'm not either, and I didn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't the worst thing ever.
She wouldn't have been my
but
pick to play Lucy either.
I think she has red hair. That's probably why they picked her. But it was just, I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
I always think of her as a blonde too. So maybe
Never once in the
Strawberry,
movie
I guess.
yeah.
did I remove myself and be like, oh my god, it's like I'm seeing Lucy on screen.
Yeah, because they did like a lot of flashbacks with like
she's more
the
of a
black and white
serious
episodes
actor,
and
like,
stuff,
not-
and it just wasn't.
even when she done Bewitched, it was like
I didn't love that one.
No.
either.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
watch
I don't think I saw the whole thing, but it was all right.
The best part about that I seen before I fucking tapped out and went to sleep was it really went down to how Lucy's brain worked.
Mhm.
Like when it came to a scene, like they're like, all right, Lucy, you're gonna do this. It's just that doesn't make any sense. Why am I doing that?
Yeah, or she would like try to change it and stuff. I did like how they would go back to like behind the scenes stuff that you don't really know. Like she did this. She started doing like a radio show, and then I can't remember who it was, CBS or somebody came to her and was like, "We want to take this on the TV. Like you belong on the TV," because she would constantly be doing like mannerisms and things, and they were like, "Why do you do that when no one can see you?" And she's like, it's just how I am. And then they tried to take it to TV, and she was like, "Okay, but I don't want to do this show." I think it was like My Favorite Husband, and she's like, "I don't want to do this show."
Yeah.
She's like, "I'll go to TV, but I want it to be Ricky or like her husband, like Desi, and that's it." Like she wasn't going to do the show unless it was about him.
Dude, the statistics that are from I know we talked about it in our Lucy episode, but like water consumption went down.
Yeah, between
During-
9 and 9:30 on Mondays.
Local like stores in major
Yeah.
cities would not
They
be
stayed
open.
open. What was it, Macy's or something? They said they stayed open later on Mondays, and they changed it to Thursday because Mondays
Because they were
people
like,
were
"There's
staying home to watch the
no
show.
one is
Yeah.
out doing anything when Lucy's on
Yeah.
TV." So it literally it's costing us money to stay open. So
Yeah.
the days that Lucy was on, they would just shut down stores because nobody
like
was out.
not stay open late
They
because
said
there was no
your
point.
average your best television show that's out right now gets what 30, 20 million.
No,
like
they
10
said like 10 million.
10 to 20 million viewers per episode, like when it's live.
On hers
Lucy
was
was getting
60.
60 million
Like,
when it was
just
on
crazy.
TV. Like
Yeah.
that, if it came out on a Monday, 60 million people watched it. That's
Yeah.
what.
But there was also 4 channels.
Yes,
I mean,
right. That
you
you got to
know.
you got to think of statistics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Andy's
Yeah.
saying,
But
there
like
was-
all the
there
other
was-
shows that were on at that time,
like
were
crime
not
rate.
getting anything.
Crime rate would
Yeah.
drop in cities
Yeah.
because people were watching Lucy.
I did like that they went more to like the stuff that you don't really know about, or like that, like the show. Like she wanted
She
to
was
make the
summoning
show.
demons in the basement.
Yeah.
Like,
Like she
They
wanted
should've
to make
added
the
some
show
goofy
for her
rules.
husband, and they literally brought up the fact that they're like, it's not going to do well. Like they were trying to not say
Well,
it because he's white. He's not
yeah,
white.
That's why. Yeah,
That's
back
why they
then,
didn't
yeah.
want it.
They wouldn't give her.
And-
They still to this day don't give her credit for being the first interracial couple on TV.
It makes me
Oh,
angry.
he's not really. Well, he's not that dark. Like,
But
you
he's
know,
not.
you
He's
know,
not
I know-
white.
you
He
know
was
how
born in
people are.
Cuba.
Yeah,
The
Like,
first interracial kiss goes to
Bill Shatner.
Bill
Yeah.
Shatner.
Yeah.
when this was out way before that.
Because I
Yeah.
guess
Well,
they
I guess
consider
they fi-
because he's Cuban.
Yeah,
not-
not
Yeah.
black.
But-
It's not black person, white.
Still a
person.
different race.
I know.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
But
she,
the-
she
there
was
was,
the
like,
first
a
one to
huge
put the beds
thing.
together. She was the first
Never-
woman to be
Yeah.
pregnant on TV.
Yeah, see, I
She was the
never
first
even
woman to be
noticed
like
that, honestly.
own her
I
own
guess
TV
it's
production company.
Yeah.
Like she was a boss.
That was something they brought up too about being pregnant, because she was like, well, I'm pregnant. And they were like, well, with the first baby we just hit it. And she's like, I don't want to do that. Like her and Desi were like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to put it. And they're like, well, how do you explain that? And I'm like, who's watching this? Like, people have children. And they're like, well, you have separate beds. He's like, then we'll push them together. Like, it was a
No
lot
one
of
had
stuff that you
sex
don't think.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Ricky's got
Yeah.
a hog on him. He can get you
Nobody.
across the room.
Nobody had sex.
But
I
I
don't know
thought
how
that-
children came about.
Like, the rest of it was,
The
I
story.
wish they would have had
Yeah.
better actors and
The
stuff. But
50s
that was
had
cool.
such a
Like, I like-
strange way of
I
thought.
like
Yeah.
that they showed the stuff
Lu-
that you
Lucy
don't see, like
essentially
the
was-
struggles. Like,
Yeah, Lucy was essentially teaching people like you don't have to fucking Hollywood everything. Like
Mhm.
you can be real. Like you don't have to fucking fake everything. Like yeah,
Mhm.
people sleep in the same beds that are like I don't know. I always respect her. She's super dope. But this movie, I have to go back and probably watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
But
I wish
wasn't
they would
into
have
it.
picked better people, but I like the storyline.
I don't know what the low budget one is that they made for like a made a TV one.
I can't remember. It was on Netflix.
10
but
times
It was
better.
good.
It was really good. Yeah, all no name actors. It was really good. I'd recommend that one over this one.
Yeah.
Anything else you watched?
Mm-mm.
I watched a shit ton of stuff. I never remember what I watched.
Well, I watched the admin calendar, but I posted about that. It was like a French movie on Shutter.
Oh, I was
was
gonna say
pretty-
you watched the count. You
Oh,
opened the doors
yeah,
every day. and you're
yeah.
Like,
I
I did
looked,
it.
at
All right.
I looked at the calendar for half an hour.
Yeah.
I got a
Okay.
I got a Shutter recommendation. So if you're really into
Oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix the toys that made us and the movies that made us,
Mhm.
Shutter has a TV series out. It's called Making a Monster. And it's literally like the toys that made us, where they take a franchise
Mhm.
and they talk about it from beginning to end and how they came about everything.
No,
I seen one
that's
episode where they
interesting.
talked about Halloween, and it was
Mhm.
really, really good.
That's awesome.
Fright
really
Rags,
good.
Lunch Can, and Thermos made it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw them post about that. I didn't know necessarily what it was for.
Yeah,
though.
it made it to that. It made it to that documentary.
Oh, that's awesome.
Episode
really
2
cool.
was it's gonna. We didn't get to watch it yet. It's Candyman. They're gonna talk about the Candyman
Oh,
Very
franchise.
nice.
But I mean, this documentary goes up from Halloween 1 to Halloween Kills.
Awesome.
Like it's pretty current.
I was annoyed though. Like, some of the people that they bring to talk about, you're just like, who is that? Like, I don't know who you
Oh,
are.
I was a fan one
But,
time, and
yeah, and they're all like, Halloween's my favorite. This girl literally
Halloween
was like, Halloween
aficionado.
is my favorite, and she has a Friday the 13th shirt on. And I was like, you didn't wear a Halloween
Well,
shirt?
She didn't know.
You're coming to talk about Halloween.
Maybe she didn't know what she was coming for.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Like
that just seemed
they're like,
different.
listen, we're doing this show. We're not sure
We're
what the
not gonna
subject
tell you
is.
anything.
You're a big horror fan.
Yeah.
Just come.
well, they had
Maybe
had
it
three-
just seems odd.
they had 3 of the 4, or they had 4 people who played Michael Myers on screen talking
Oh,
about
nice.
playing Michael Myers.
yeah,
and
Really
they actually tell you that the original guy who played Michael Myers
Mhm.
was in the new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in one scene where they just like come back, put the costume on, and
Yeah.
stand in the closet, and that's his only scene.
Oh, that's cool.
Or actually, no, the very first scene where Lori looks up at the window and sees him standing there, and she shoots at it. That's the original.
is that the one? I can't
yeah,
remember.
because I was like,
but that
that,
was
they
good.
wanted to have that nod where it's the very first 2 people,
Yeah.
and then the guy who does all the stunts took over the rest of the
Huh.
movie.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
like how they talk about stuff too, like on the set, the original one and stuff. Like, you see all the pictures of him just like holding the mask and stuff.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit about it.
But also because when they did all the stuff to it, they like spray painted it, but because it was plastic or whatever rubber,
It didn't dry.
it won't dry. So like
It
there's
collected
like
dust
dark
and-
spots on it
Yeah.
because it touches things. and-
Right.
yeah.
You have to watch
But it
it.
was cool though.
And the new guy, he's like, I don't put the mask on unless I'm on scene.
He's super
Yeah.
nice. That guy.
He's like, he says, he
like,
goes,
when I
"I'm-
get in the
I'm
mask, I'm in
I'm
it."
very
Yeah.
method. So if I'm playing that character, like I don't like if
You
I'm
won't
at a
wear
con
it.
to like put the mask. Nope, because when I put that mask on, it means something.
Means I'm gonna
That's
kill
fair.
people.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then the original guy in the very first one, there's a picture of him like where he pulled the mask
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
it's like on his head and he's making the mask drink a Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
So,
So they redid it with the new mask.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
if you meet him, because we got to meet him at Monster Mania, he has the old photo on his table that you can get signed, or you can get this new one. I ended up
Yeah,
getting the
that's
new
cool.
one just
and
because
he
it's
just
Dr. Pepper.
came by accident. Like he was just like, they're like, yo, he was like, I'm trying to make movies. Can I come and hang out, Wes? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you want to play our guy in a mask? And he's just like, all right. And he's like, how do I do it? And he goes, just fucking walk.
Oh, okay.
He's, all right.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about that. Like, they didn't want him to have like a. They were just walk normally. Like,
Yeah.
we want to just be like whatever.
Yeah, it was really, really
You'd
cool.
like it.
But it's a great TV series.
Yeah.
Check it out on Shudder. Shudder's just good all around if you're
They
in a
are.
horror movie.
is good.
It's a great service. But yeah, I think it's called Making a Killer or something like that, or
Okay.
Creating a Killer. But it's really, really good. We'll follow up a part 2 on probably next episode or next year. See you next year.
Next.
all right.
See you next year.
Where we at? Let's get into our topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's get.
The Halo franchise.
Yeah, I'm moving up here.
I don't know much. It's been a long time since I played it at all, and I don't know. I didn't play a lot of it.
Yeah, this is a franchise that, for the most part, how we were saying before, the landlines actually open up the doors to be like, man, this would be cool if we can make people have shooter games against each other. And it really
Mhm.
opened up that, like, what if online gaming, what could it be? And they really fine tuned the game around that, but then put a story to it. and it was
for consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Half-Life was already out on computers.
Yeah.
and Counter-Strike,
mhm.
because I think they came
and
out.
Unreal,
And Doom was out, but I
yeah.
mean, Doom didn't have deathmatch. Maybe it did. I don't know. Yeah, Unreal exists. Unreal 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, by no means is the first FPS.
Well, no, I mean N64 had the 4 controllers that you can do in one system.
Yeah,
But this is the one. This is the first system where you can like bring your system, and then people did the landlines. where
yeah.
you're not screen watching each other.
Well, if you did the 2 systems and the 2 TVs, yeah, you wouldn't, because these 4 people fight these 4 people.
Yep.
So they could look at their team, but they're they're on
Yeah.
the same team. Anyway, so for those that do not know, Halo is a first-person shooter, FPS as it's called, originally developed by Bungie and later 343 Studios. So I'm gonna do a little overview, and then we'll get into the
Sure.
single games. I'm not going to talk much about there's comics, there's mobile games,
There's a brand new TV series
Yeah.
coming.
yeah, and but in that movie that
Is
was
it on
supposed to happen, I didn't get into
Amazon?
that.
Oh yeah.
The movie that Peter Jackson was going to direct, and
It
then
was supposed to be a Halo movie,
Yeah.
and then it turned into District
yeah.
19 or
District 9.
District 9.
Yeah,
So if you go back and watch District 9, some of
some
the
weapons,
weapons
yeah.
that are in that game and that movie are just spray painted to look like normal weapons, but they're actually Halo weapons.
yeah,
Oh cool.
because I forget what the falling out was, but then I guess either Microsoft backed out or something.
Yeah, they showed the
Something
trailer
happened.
of not too much, but they showed a little bit of the Halo trailer of what it's going to look like. It looks kind of dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And-
of course, it's an exclusive to whoever.
Is it Netflix or
Am-
something?
No, it's like Amazon or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's
No.
Netflix. It's something weird. yeah.
No, it's Paramount.
Oh,
Paramount
yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Has it. Yeah.
Anyway, so it is, for all intents and purposes, Microsoft's Mario. The Halo franchise centers around Master Chief, codename John 117, and his battles against the Covenant, the Flood, and the Banished, all alien races, mainly taking place on ring worlds created by the ancient Forerunner alien races, to be used as weapons to stop the parasitic flood. Parasitic. I can't say the fucking word. Anyway. You play as Master Chief in almost every game except Halo ODST, which I will call OTS because it's more funny to say, and Halo Reach. In Halo OTS, you play as a normal human, Orbital Drop, Shock Trooper. We'll get into that stupid name. In Reach, you play as a group of Spartans known as the Noble Six: Carter, Catherine, Jorge, Emil, and June. In Halo 3, the second player controls Arbiter, a member of the Covenant race that sides with the humans. There is also Halo Wars, a real-time strategy guide, and Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike, which are the top-down twin-stick shooters that do not feature Master Chief. So,
No.
and you also never shoot another human.
Nope.
In any game, you only shoot the aliens. So
I mean, you can shoot the Marines.
yeah, I mean, in multiplayer, yeah, you can shoot the Marines, but they just get back up.
Yeah.
And then the new one's kind of buggy, like when you drop the vehicles in your bases when you get them. Then sometimes the guy will stand there and they're like, "Incoming, Chief!" Boom! Oh! And either they die or they're and they just walk
Just
away.
fall off.
Sometimes like the Warthog will drop and hit the guy and I'm like, "Oh!" And I'm like, and he just kind of like staggers away. I'm like, "You just got hit by a fucking truck."
from the sky.
Yeah, from that's and it's like, nah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Walk it off.
yeah, if you want realism, this is not your game. Anyway, we'll start with the first one that started all, Halo Combat Evolved. Now, I didn't know the story behind this. It's actually pretty cool. I had no idea. So what became Halo started as a real-time strategy game for the Mac, originally codenamed, and this is wonderful, Monkey Nuts and Blam. It took place on a hollowed-out world called Solipsis? I guess that's how you say it. The planet eventually became a ring world. Artist Paul Russell suggested the name Halo instead, which became the game's title. The game was first announced on July 21st, 1999, during the Macworld Conference and Expo. Halo, like Monkey Nuts and Blam, was originally planned to be a real-time strategy game for the Mac and Windows operating systems, but later changed it to a third-person action game. On June 19th, 2000, Microsoft acquired Bungie, and Halo Combat Evolved became a launch title for the new video game console, the Xbox, which will be released on November 15th, 2001, 20 years ago.
There it is.
When Bungie received Xbox development kits, they rewrote the game's engine, heavily altering it, and turned it into a first-person shooter, so no longer third-person. This first Halo was meant to include an online multiplayer mode, but was excluded because Xbox Live was not yet available. It would come out for Halo 2. Halo was not intended to be Xbox flagship game. Due to internal concerns and gaming press criticism, Microsoft Vice President Game Publishing at the time, Ed Freeze, I don't know, he wasn't worried. He didn't care about that. After several planned video game tie-ins to Steven Spielberg's film AI Artificial Intelligence were scrapped, good thing there, it became clear that Halo had to serve as the tentpole title for the Xbox. Its killer app, which it does say on the box. The Xbox marketing heavily featured Halo, whose green color palette matched with the console's design scheme of all green and black, if you look at the old school regular Xbox I always call that the Xbox One. And then the Xbox One came out. Like, what the fuck do we call it?
Yeah.
Regular Xbox?
It's the fucking
Original.
It's
Original.
The, it's
Yeah.
the fucking VCR.
Yeah, I
Xbox.
love that one.
I have 2 of them upstairs.
I
3 of
love
them
it.
upstairs.
I was thinking about
Jeez.
getting another one just in case mine doesn't work. Halo was released alongside the console on November 15, 2001 as the launch title. So during the 2 months following Halo's release, the game sold alongside more than 50% of Xbox consoles at the time. 1 million units had been sold roughly 5 months after the game's release, a faster pace than that of any previous 6th generation console game. So that one with PlayStation 2 and GameCube. The game sold 3 million copies worldwide by July 2003 and 4 million by January 2004. By July 2006, the Xbox version had sold 4.2 million copies and earned 170 million in the United States alone, while its computer version sold 670,000 copies and earned 22.2 million. So it was doing pretty good.
The thing about this one too, and that I think Halo really coined in the video game world is there. I mean, a lot of games you buy and they say, okay, we're going to after you beat it, you can increase the difficulty. And that gets you so far. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cool, I beat it on hard. But it's just the same game, and it just becomes unrealistically hard. Halo has the opportunity to play the game story, then play the game story with a friend, or go back and play the story and look for like hidden like there was one of the first ones to put hidden items or hidden
I don't
skulls.
think the original one had skulls though.
I believe it did. Or by mine too that
I don't think the first one did. The first one also has health packs,
yes.
Which
Yeah,
would
I remember the health pack.
which they return in Halo Reach.
Yeah.
But they're not in any other.
But I mean, Halo was like the first one, like with these skulls, where you can get the skulls and then like confetti mode, and it made more
Goofy,
fun.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
yeah.
And then in the first Halo, the second player is just a slightly darker Master Chief.
Mhm.
I like that when they do that because you're the same character. And like in all the other games too, I think it's 4 or something. You play as another Master Chief, and then when there's a cutscene, there's only one.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what happened? Just clones himself. So where was I here? During the 2 months following Halo's release. Oh wait, I already said that. Where was I at here? Jesus Christ.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Next Generation magazine at the time, which was hot at the time, ranked it as the second highest selling game launch for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, or GameCube between January 2000 and 2006. So that 6 years was the second.
I'm trying to
highest.
think what would be like
The number one was probably Grand Theft Auto or God of War during that time, 2000 to 2006.
2006.
Maybe Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. I'm saying
Or
like
San Andreas.
well, then eventually they came to Xbox as well. I'm trying to think like God of War
Well, this
was
is
probably
all of them. Yeah,
yeah. God of War was probably the one that was pushing the sales.
But even like, no, they're saying like out of all 3 combined, Halo
yeah,
was
I'm just trying to like exclusive wise, like what were the 2 flagships at the time? I would probably at this time Xbox. If you bought an Xbox, you were there for I believe Doom was exclusive at first. With that at first
No,
Xbox, it
no.
wasn't.
No, Doom 3 came later.
What? I mean, it was on the original Xbox though. Doom.
No. Doom 3, it was on everything. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, people like really went hard for it on Xbox.
I don't think Doom 3 I think was out for everything. It might have been Xbox. Maybe computer and then came to Xbox.
have to
I
look that up.
forget.
But I remember people were like, "Oh, Doom on Xbox is really good." Halo, and then everyone was
Well, it
into
would be
Forza.
Doom 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the Xbox was the only one at the time to have an internal hard drive. That's why I
Yes.
was like, I'm getting all my games for that because I don't need a fucking memory card.
Yeah, internal hard drive. And what the big thing with this Halo was a lot of people love to do is when they would do the LAN parties or they would play with their friend,
Mhm.
they would put their music CDs, they'd rip the music onto
Oh
their
yeah,
hard
'cause you could
drive,
do that with the original Xbox.
and then you can make your own in-game music playlist. So when you're playing Forza or you're playing Madden or you're playing Halo, instead of listening to the in-game music, you can insert your own music, and that's your new
yeah,
playlist.
whatever you
Oh, I
want to
didn't
do.
know that.
You could also drop a
love-
fucking car. Yeah.
You're good.
You drop a car on the Xbox and it'd be all right. That original one. And that Duke controller, you can murder a man with that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and then they made the S-type controller, which was one of my favorite controllers of all time. After the success of Halo, oh yeah, I just want to say the pistol is overpowered in the first one, and it's the
Yes.
best pistol in any game. I know they tried to bring it back in what 3 or 4.
The only
or
other pistol
something.
that was more dominant than that was N64's golden gun.
Yeah, the pistol is like you can just complete the whole campaign with the pistol, and just because you can zoom in and just it's like overpowered the Magnum. Anyway. After the success of Halo Combat Evolved, which I will call Halo 1 because it's easier to say, a sequel is expected and highly anticipated. Bungie found inspiration and plot points and gameplay elements that had been left out of their first game, including online multiplayer. Players could play as Master Chief and the Alien Arbiter in some levels. The game also introduced dual wielding, using certain weapons in both hands at once. So some people are like, what does dual wield mean? Holding 2 guns in each hand. This also appeared. Oh wait, this only appeared in Halo 2 and 3, along with the overpowered, especially when you had 2 of them, M7 SMG, the small machine guns. I don't know if you
Mhm.
had when you got 2 of them, you were unstoppable. Halo 2 was a commercial and critical success and is often listed as one of the greatest video games of all time. I stood in line for the midnight release at Game Crazy that doesn't exist anymore.
So Doom
And they took a picture, and I was in the picture in the paper.
Really?
I'm like in the back. Yeah.
Doom 3
That's cool.
in 2000,
Yeah.
2004 was exclusive to the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And then re-released later in 2015 for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
So a couple years later.
Yeah, so it was the Doom 3 was an exclusive
Yeah.
to the Xbox. 'Cause
Is
that
it-
was the first one where like, you had the flashlight, and people like you had to choose a flashlight or a gun.
Yeah, which was ridiculous because there was a picture like choose, and there's like a cop, and he's like,
Yeah. It made it
It's like-
scarier because you had to go in there in the
And
dark.
then-
wrong too. Like the
Yeah.
gun should be.
well, it depends on which
What?
hand you
Yeah.
would shoot with.
Yeah.
But
You-
then they re-released it, and you could turn the flashlight and hold it.
Yeah.
because that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Doom
Made
3,
it, made it spooky.
Doom 3 was
And then
Well, not
just like
good.
the pistol for Halo in Doom. So I know it's not a Doom episode, but people realized that the flashlight was overpowered, and they would go around the entire game and just bash everybody with the flashlight,
Oh,
and it was super strong.
I think I played
Oh,
that
yeah,
on
she would
computer.
hold it up to
Yeah,
the
that's the only time I've ever played that. It was on the PC.
Mhm.
And people pop.
collector's edition there. Baby.
This is
That
the
was
one
like
where you
back
played
in
as
the
Arbiter, right?
90s too.
Yeah, only a little bit. The second player would play as him, and then I think there's a couple levels from during first player. Arbiter's big thing is Halo 3.
I remember people went nuts for this fucking game.
I know that was big when that came out.
That one I remember. That's what we were talking about before. Breaking Ben had the advertisement song, and it is actually in the game somewhere. You just don't really hear them sing. Like it's the
oh,
background music.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the background music. But that song blew up after that.
I can imagine. Halo
And
2,
blew
Halo
them
2
up.
was huge. So Halo 2, speaking of that, Halo 2 was a commercial and critical success is often, like I said that. This is the greatest video games of all time. The game became the most popular title on Xbox Live, shocking, holding the rank until the release of Gears of War for Xbox 360 near 2 years later. Halo 2 is the best-selling first-generation Xbox game with more than 8 million copies sold worldwide. The game received critical acclaim. Fans loved the multiplayer. However, the campaign and its cliffhanger ending was divisive among many fans. You shoot the monkey guy and it kind of just ends. The game's online component was highly influential and cemented many features and standards in future games and online services, which I didn't realize this, including matchmaking, lobbies, and clans. So
Mhm.
that all started with Halo 2. Halo 2's marketing heralded at the beginning of video games as blockbuster media. A port of the game for Windows Vista was released in 2007, followed by the high-definition remake as part of Halo the Master Chief Collection. So I remember this game. It was
which is-
huge when it came out.
Which is super cool. If you want to go back and play Halo 1 and 2 and 3, I don't think they did it with 3. I think they just did it with Halo 1 and 2, where you can actually play it in its original form.
Oh, yeah,
with or you can hit a button and it does it like it remasters. They went back and remastered the entire game, which is really
it's cool.
The Breaking Benjamin song was called "Blow Me Away."
Blow me away. Yeah.
I remember the commercial a little bit. It was like live
Yeah.
action, but like Master Chief was in it. And there was
Yeah.
like live
And the-
action monkeys. And
The cool thing
coming-
is now in retrospect, they're like, oh man, we made a third person to first person, which was huge because then when Gears of War came out, that
they
was
got
your
the
third person shooter.
yeah.
So now you have a first person shooter and a third person shooter. And arguably, I mean, I don't think there's any question about this. This is not just me being a Microsoft fanboy, but the Xbox gets shit for not having games, but people are still playing Master Chief Collection and playing Halo and still playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Well, I thought you were gonna say name a third person shooter better. than
Name
Gears of
any
War.
first person
There
shooter
isn't.
that's exclusive on PlayStation that
Oh.
people are still playing.
Well, I'm sure someone's
There's
still
none.
playing Resistance and someone's still playing. What was the other
There's
one?
probably like 13 people on Resistance.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people
Yeah.
playing.
But I'm saying, like-
you wouldn't believe what people still play.
But no,
EverQuest.
you know what would actually be
People
doing?
still play EverQuest.
People are probably still would if they had like a Soulcom, because Soulcom was the only like exclusive shooter for PlayStation. They stopped.
That was
doing
on PlayStation 2. I think.
it. Yeah, and they stopped. That was like their only exclusive
Mhm.
shooter, but they don't really have shooter games. They just it's
What
all
was it? It was
multi
Resistance and
Killzone.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that we're going to Halo 3, which me and my friend beat the day it came out.
What?
Yep.
Not a very long game.
Yeah, we got it. And I got done work like around 2:30, and then we started about 3:30, and we beat it about midnight
Wow.
playing the campaign.
So was that not like a big disappointment to you, or were you? happy
No,
with
we were
that?
hammering it to try and do it together, and then I played to get all the achievements. and
Most
stuff.
Halo games are around 8 hours.
Yeah, they're not real long games. They're not RPGs.
There's actually
Take,
an achievement
20
in the
hours.
brand new one to
Yeah.
beat the game in 8 hours.
Yeah, but you would have to hammer the main story and not
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the side quest.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we could show that. I mean, they'll all have Master Chief on the cover. I mean, Halo 3 is not the. I mean, we got the
Special edition.
yeah, special edition, which ran I think it was 125 when it came out. And I was like, you can't put the helmet on. I don't know. I'm just gonna get regular one.
So you can't actually. I guess.
No, I mean it comes
It's
off.
tiny,
Yeah, because the
tiny,
game
yeah.
is inside
Oh.
there, but the slot itself.
Isn't there
Oh,
a special
will
edition
not fit
case
your
for
head.
the?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a.
Yeah, I think so.
I bought it way later though.
Yeah, it's cool. Like if I
This
seen that,
edition anyway.
yeah, for cheap, I'd buy that too.
Yeah.
My video game.
It was like $60. So
That's a
not too
that's a
bad.
good deal because everyone's selling that just the helmet, nothing else in it for like 130 on
Wow.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, the
eBay.
helmet is really cool.
It is
Yeah.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
a good. It's such a simplistic model for a character, but it's so fucking iconic. Like Master Chief is a fucking iconic character.
At this point, yes, they also have what I would consider the only memorable video game music from the past like 20 years. Which is always in the last level when you drive the warthog away from when the world's blowing up.
Yeah.
It's in every game.
And I mean, we're not really going super into
Yeah, to the storyline.
to
I
the
can't-
universe,
yeah.
but I'm telling you, if you really dive into the Halo universe and what it's going on and all the different, like it's right up there with any science fiction book.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah,
yeah, like
they could have easily made a movie out of it.
I think the TV show is really going to dive into what the story and how the depth of this if you're into sci-fi can be.
Yeah, because if I would go into story, because then it's like well, there's comics and
Yeah.
there's novels and shit. Like,
Essentially, before Master Chief does anything, humans in like the year 2025 or something like
it's
that,
25.
20, there it is. They have found a way to communicate with other planets and galaxy travel and do all that stuff, and then it becomes like the humans versus all these different alien species, and we don't get along with the arbiter species. They're the fuck
Well, they're part of the Covenant. They all have
Covenant.
different races. The Covenant is a amalgam of different races.
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
the guy's like, "Oh no, it's Master Chief!" You know,
Yeah.
the grunts. Yeah,
yeah, and then
what?
then there's a giant parasite that comes and
Yeah, the flood.
and then everyone's like, we need to destroy because the like it's like a refreshing thing. It's crazy,
Yeah.
but there's so much to it, and it's
There's a lot in the story we can't.
Actually, in Halo 3, if there's any Rooster Teeth fans,
Red vs. Blue. That's where it
yes,
started.
Red versus Blue started, but then in Halo 3, actually, there are 4 crew members of Rooster Teeth that are actually in the game.
Oh,
And If
wow.
you go up to doors, the one guy's like, "Oh, what's the password?" And then he's like, "I don't know, I wasn't at the meeting." And like they have these weird conversations, but there's 2 different sets of dialogue that you can
That's
go.
cool.
And
in
yeah,
the first
Halo-
couple
on what
levels.
difficulty
Halo
you're on.
birthed
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth because Rooster Teeth was just for the most part they were just like the achievement hunters where they
Mhm.
taught you how to get the achievements on your Xbox, and then they start doing this Red versus Blue, and people are like, "This is
He
amazing."
really got over.
You can actually, I just seen on there, if you go to Rooster Teeth's YouTube page, you can go check out their season. I seen at least 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2 of Red versus Blue for
Yeah,
free
I
on YouTube.
I think you can buy the Blu-ray collection.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
like
and if you
30
sign up for like
seasons, and
$5 to their subscription thing, you can watch all of them.
yeah, it's a funny series, and
Yeah.
it's literally just them playing the matchmaking, and they
Yeah.
made a story of them
Yeah.
playing the video game.
And for those that don't know, when you fight, it's 4-on-4. One team is red and one team is blue. So
Yes.
hence the name.
And then when they were able to change character colors, they were like,
Yeah.
"Well, why am I pink?"
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it was really funny.
So let's talk about Halo 3, which I also went to midnight release. Oh no, I didn't. I bought that because we beat it that. Yeah, we started. I did not go to midnight release because I had to work. So I was like, we'll buy it and we beat it. We beat it in one day.
Who'd
so.
you beat it with?
I was the arbiter. My friend was Master Chief.
Like, are you still talking to the person that you're?
No, actually, no.
Really?
Yeah. No, we didn't have a falling out. They just kind of drifted apart.
Yeah.
So at the time, we when 360 was big, we played all the co-op games. So we played Gears of War. And
Did
stuff.
you have like a weird bro moment when you finally beat it?
No. I think we knew we're gonna beat this game and we're gonna beat it today.
So the reason I ask is me and my cousin Jimmy with Gears of War 1.
Mhm.
We went
Which is definitely harder. I mean,
and we beat it on Insane.
oh
Together.
wow, yeah, that's really hard.
And there's a few parts that is really, really, really hard to beat on Insane,
Yeah.
especially co-op.
And when you're driving that fucking tank thing and all this dark shit spinning around, you got to
That-
shine the light.
Where you're in the mine carts.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and on Insane, if one of those fucker falls near you, you're dead.
Mhm.
And we finally fucking land that last shot on General Ram and kill him. And we both
That is so hard and insane.
we fucking both jump up and just we've known each other since we're babies. We jumped up and hugged. And we're like, we did it. We're like, what the fuck are we doing?
I had the torque mode. I was like, just distract him. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was a cool. So I asked because if you grind through a game from beginning to end in one
Yeah.
sitting, it's an
yeah, it
experience.
was one sitting, man. We did it.
That's an experience
Yeah.
that you'll never.
It
get
was
with
fun, but
friends.
we played on normal. Let's just play on normal.
Yeah.
You know. But and Halo 3 on normal, not as hard as Gears of War.
No, not at all.
Gears of War, lots of fun. But we're not talking about Gears of War. We're talking about Halo 3. Bungie began developing Halo 3 shortly after Halo 2 shipped. The game was officially announced at E3 2006, and its release was preceded by a multiplayer beta open to select players who purchased the Xbox 360 game Crackdown, which Crackdown 1,
Yes.
a lot of fun. 2 and 3, not so much. Microsoft spent $40 million on marketing the game in an effort to sell more game consoles and broaden the appeal of the game beyond the established Halo fan base. Marketing included cross promotions and an alternate reality game on the phone, which throw that right in the garbage. The game
played
was
it.
released in September 2007. Halo 3 grossed $170 million in its first day of release.
Holy cow.
$170 million, $63 of it was mine. And $300 million in its first week. Just think that in, and
That's
you'll
insane.
see a pattern here as we go on the more Halos. More than 1 million people played Halo 3 on Xbox Live in the first 24 hours. To date, Halo 3 has sold in excess of 14.5 million copies. The game was also the best-selling video game in 2007 in the US. Overall, the game was very well received by critics, with the Forge and multiplayer offerings singled out as strong features. However, some reviewers criticized single-player aspects, especially the plot and the campaign layout. I didn't mind it at all. I liked it. It was fun. It's fun being an Arbiter. Now, the Forge was added in this as a map editing tool, enabling players to insert and remove game objects such as weapon crates and vehicles into existing multiplayer maps, creating their own take on maps, and you could upload them and play them and stuff. That was a cool little thing. I never really messed with it much. Halo 3 story and campaign mode can be played alone or cooperatively with up to 3 other players via Xbox Live or System Link. Instead of having each player be an identical characters in previous Halo games, the first player plays as Master Chief, the second plays as Arbiter. And I didn't know this because I never played it with 4 people. The other 2 players control 2 Covenant elites named Nathos Ram and Uzuzi Taham, each with their own backstories. So it would be Master Chief and 3 fucking Arbiter race just cruising around. Or what? And then who voiced Arbiter? What's that guy's name?
Not the guy who played Bender, was it?
No, that's Marcus Phoenix. Oh, geez, it's
I can picture him. I can't
Yeah,
think of what his name is.
He had like a really nasally.
Keith David?
Yeah, Keith David. Yeah, that's who voices Arbiter. So he also voiced Spawn in the cartoon. So after that, they went on to make Halo 3 Otst, which I hate the name, and I'll go on here.
Fun game though.
The fourth, I thought it was okay. The 4th installment of the Halo franchise is released on the Xbox 360 in September 2009. Players assume the role of United Nations Space Command soldiers known as Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, hence the name ODST. Or, as I said, ODST. During and after the events of Halo 2, namely what happened after the Covenant slipspace jumped into the port city of New Mimosa in Halo 2. Halo Otst is the only Halo game to take place on Earth in the fictional city.
Real
New
quick to
Mimosa.
go back. Ron Perlman played Lord Hood in Gears of in Halo 3.
I don't remember Lord.
I don't know who, but I didn't know Ron Perlman did a voice.
How can you not know his voice when it comes on?
Yeah.
So like when you're playing the game, you got to know. Oh my god,
It'd be
it's
like Christopher
Hellboy.
Walken
Yeah,
was in it.
yeah.
And and John DiMaggio did a Brute
Oh, okay.
Chieftain. So the guy who did Marcus Phoenix did a voice too.
Yeah, well, he does tons of voices.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
Okay, so originally the game was called Halo 3 Recon, which I think is a terrific name. It rolls off the tongue. It's much better than OTST or ODST. What the fuck were they thinking? So, a full trailer was released during the Tokyo Game Show on October 9th, 2008, officially unveiling the game's name as Halo 3 Recon, and a release date of autumn to fall 2009. Many players thought this was more of a DLC expansion than a full game. In post-trailer interviews, Bungie staff members told Gaming Press that Recon was the last installment in the Halo trilogy. Last one. Though Bungie did not consider Recon a full game, with writer Luke Smith at the time comparing it to Warcraft 3 expansion Frozen Throne, which was like, we're going to give you an expansion that's like almost half a game.
And the main character is not going to be in it.
Yeah, almost half a game. So, which added onto the original Warcraft 3, rather than being a whole new game. Smith asserted that the game would not be a crossover into stealth and squad-based genres because people thought for something, noting this isn't Brothers in Arms Halo or Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Halo. On November 25th, Jarrett announced the game had been retitled Halo 3 ODST, which I don't know why they did that, as a more straightforward description of the game. More straightforward, but I say definitely a worse name.
It's Halo 3 Season of the Witches.
Yeah. Like, you could have called it Halo 3, not Master Chief. Halo 3 bullshit. People would have played it.
That's why I said Season of the Witches.
Yeah.
Halo 3,
Like-
where's the chief?
Yeah, like fucking Halo 3, you're playing as a human. The game shipped with all Halo 3 multiplayer maps and did not require Halo 3 to play. Despite it not being a full game, even by Bungie's definition, the game still cost the full $60 price tag. On release, Halo 3 Ots became the top-selling Xbox 360 game worldwide. More than 2.5 million copies of the game were sold within 2 weeks of the release, totaling more than 125 million in sales. Ots claimed the overall top spot in the UK game sales, becoming the 12th highest selling sell-through for a single platform title in the market. It took the top spot on Australian game charts on release, and after only being outsold by FIFA 2010 in early October, reclaimed the best-selling position.
Without their main character.
Yeah, without the main character, yes.
If only he was in it.
Wowzer.
I know. In Japan, where first-person shooters have generally fared poorly, Ots sold 30,000 copies by September 27th, and then it sold 1.5 million units during September in the United States, the best-selling title for that month. Microsoft reported that it sold 3 million units worldwide by November. Overall, it was the 9th best-selling game of the year in the United States, one of only 2 Xbox 360 games to chart. So you see it's going up here. It just keeps going up. So then we go to Halo Reach, which I didn't bring it, but I just signed up for Microsoft Confidential at the time. And they were like, oh, we're going to send you demos and just tell us what you think and send it back. Well, what they did is they sent a full copy of Halo Reach. I don't know if I brought it. And all it says is Microsoft Confidential, Halo Reach, not for resale, promotional or whatever, development
Did you
copy.
send it back?
It's a full game.
Then you didn't send it back.
No, you didn't have to send it back. You're supposed to get a paper and fill it out. I never got one. So I have it. It's here it is. So here they just send you this in an envelope, and I have it in a record of Agarus War thing right here. Warning: do not insert this disc in a non-preview console. And it says doing so will disable access to Xbox Live.
What?
Xbox preview Halo Reach, Microsoft Confidential, just not for resale.
Let me put that on camera.
So I got
What
that.
does it mean? Not a preview.
Yeah.
So if you put it in one Xbox Live before, because it was before it came out, it's the full fucking game. Me and my friend beat it. You could get flagged online and you get disabled your online stuff. So right there it is.
So what would you do to have to play it? Did you have a whole different system then, or
No,
did
you
you
just-
Or do you
have
just
to
wait till
connect?
it comes out?
As long as you didn't go on the multiplayer and select
Okay.
it, you could
Oh,
play it. You
yeah.
just put it in because they sent it to you so you could play the campaign. Just
Oh,
And
don't
now
do
they
it.
would just give you a
I'm
beta.
sorry, I'm
code.
a little blonde.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
but
yeah.
It's okay, but yeah. So that
didn't know
I
they
did
At least
that-
they put that warning on there, though.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was the only time they did that, and I'm like, it's the full fucking game,
so
We
that
beat it.
that is exactly the same as that
Yep.
then.
and I got it for free.
And this is
I don't even know where I signed up for it.
But you
Yeah.
went and bought this one then.
I actually got but it was dirt cheap.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
years later. I think it was
Eat the
$5.
cake, Kelly.
Oh my
this
Yeah.
this one had a
Yeah.
really cool
The
collector's
artwork.
edition.
What?
This one had a really cool collector's edition. It was a giant mountain and all the characters were around. the
Oh
mountain.
yeah, the characters are cool.
Yeah, people really enjoyed Halo Reach.
Yeah, Halo Reach was fun.
They said,
I'll get
how
into
can we put more time?
What year was
into-
this?
it would be 2010.
How can we keep the thing of ODST, not have to use Master Chief, not really go into that story of Master Chief because we're not really sure what we're gonna do with him. We're on a weird thing with Bungie right now.
Yeah,
Where
we're getting there.
It's coming to the end, and Bungie doesn't want to do any more Master Chief, but we really want more Halo. Add more to the story of Halo, but not really give us more Master Chief. So they made Reach, which was a prequel to all Halos. So this is the Halo Reach is the beginning of Halo series. This is where it's talking about where we as a species are now going to start fighting this war.
Yeah, it's set before the events of Halo 1. It was announced at Microsoft Media Briefing at E3 2009. It was released on September 14, 2010. On the first day of release, Reach grossed over $200 million, surpassing Halo 3's record of $170 million. You play as one of the Noble Six team of Spartans on the planet Reach, fending off a Covenant attack. Halo Reach features many new additions to the Halo franchise, which still retain the core gameplay. The player damage system is similar to that of Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 3 Ots. The heads-up highlights environmental features and overlay information about them, and the motion tracker display is three-dimensional. That's the thing in the bottom, which is pretty cool. Halo Reach Ultra introduces a refined equipment system known as Armor Abilities. Pieces of equipment can now be selected upon respawning or picked up off the ground for certain game types. So, your shield, and then there was like the high jump or something. I
I
forget.
believe one was a cannon.
Yeah. Armor abilities are reusable with a recharge time between uses. A new assassination system is also featured, which I completely forgot about, in which holding down the melee button, because you could press, I always change my game to the recon controls. You press B and you fucking club them and you kill people. Which now you hold down the melee button and it will trigger context-sensitive third-person assassination animation. Simply hitting the melee button allows for the old instant kill assassination, now called beatdowns. Melee kills, which were called beatdowns, are now called pummels. And also the health packs from Halo 1 are also returned. Bungie made use of a completely redone version of Halo engine for Halo Reach, so they built it again from the ground up. Reach's engine is able to support up to 40 active AI characters on screen and 20 vehicles on screen at once, twice as many as Halo 3. So Reach was a lot of fun. I liked it, and we beat this in 2 days. We
Hey
couldn't
kids,
stay up.
remember when video games
Yeah, had
fucking
manuals
Yeah.
that were not
Mhm.
just the
That's what I
fucking
was just
safety
looking.
information. Like you look at Halo 1s and like I used to like reading about the games and stuff, especially when
Yeah.
you're a kid and you got it
Yeah.
before you could go home. And you're like, I'm gonna
Or
read
you're
this
like,
whole
how
manual.
the
Yeah, I'm gonna
fuck-
open it up.
What the fuck are people doing that to me? And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, there's a fucking button combination I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Because you don't tell me while I'm playing. I have to read the freaking manual.
So now we go to Halo 4, which I don't have, which I'm gonna try and buy. I'm sure it's like $10.
This is
Is
where
that for 360? This is where we kind of get a little off of the rails.
I believe this is still 360.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the last Halo.
This,
I
Yeah,
believe,
this
was
is
360.
where people are like, man, we really miss good Master Chief stories,
Yeah.
and we haven't had one since the new one? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this new 4 is the not a Bungie, or is this the last
343.
Bungie?
The last. Oh no, it's the first 343. We'll
This
get
is-
into
yeah.
it. Yeah. So set 4.5 years after events of Halo 3, Halo 4 continues the story of Master Chief and Cortana, left abandoned on the remains of the UNSC Forward Until Dawn. That's a ship. The two survivors drift towards the mysterious world of Requiem and the ancient evil within. Halo 4 is the first game developed by 343 Studios, the management team in charge of the Halo franchise from here on out, and was published by Microsoft Studios. The first in a new series of Halo titles dubbed the Reclaimer Trilogy. So remember how the last one was the last Halo? That was just that last of that trilogy. There's a new trilogy. Halo 4 was released exclusively on Xbox 360 worldwide on November 6, 2012. On the first day of release, Halo 4 grossed $220 million, surpassing Halo Reach's record of $200 million, and reached $300 million in its opening week. That's a lot
Wow.
of fucking copies sold. Why did Bungie stop making Halo? Well, they said that as a company, Bungie wanted to move on from Halo because they didn't want to be a one-trick pony in the eyes of the FPS gaming community.
Why would
Which-
you do that?
Mhm.
Yeah, which obviously annoyed Microsoft since they needed a stable franchise for the Xbox going long into the future.
I
Also,
mean,
the
if it's
idea,
making money and it's making you money.
keep it
Yeah,
going.
keep
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep riding that gravy train until the fucking wheels fall
So
off.
they wanted to make a game where it was space and
Yeah.
you met other things and you do everything, but kept the universe of Halo in it.
Yeah.
And Xbox is like, nah, we're not really into that. And then they're like, well, then we're gonna leave. We're gonna go do our own thing. So they went and created a game called Destiny.
Yeah, that's what I said. Also,
I was
the
just gonna
idea,
say that. I was gonna like, did they actually go on and do anything else? Any other bestsellers or anything?
They made
or-
Destiny,
And
Destiny 2,
and
is it 3?
did
Yeah.
they make that one game that bombed? It was kind of like
Well, the problem with Destiny is
There was no story.
there was no
to it.
story
yeah,
to Destiny.
there was no single player for the first one.
Yeah, and the problem with Destiny also was they said here's the game for $60, and then we're gonna charge you $30 per season pass or
Mhm.
per expansion, and then people started putting the games in there, like hacking the games and reading through the files,
Yeah, it was all
and
there.
the first 2 DLCs were already on the disc.
Yeah, Street
So-
Fighter did that too.
So DLC is supposed to be stuff that's worked on after the game is released,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to be for the once again consumers like you fucked us. So they literally got
yeah, we already bought this. now you want us to
another
buy it again.
$60 worth of stuff that's already on the disc, and then people were glitching past a wall and seeing the DLC before it even released, and then they're like, and you're gonna make us pay for it. And then when Destiny 2 came out, a lot of people were very hesitant to jump back on the
Yeah.
Destiny train.
And there's a single player in there.
And Destiny's the type of game where you have to go. It's like a job. You have to go every single day and do your dailies.
It's more
and,
MMO, yeah.
and then there's giant
Can't do it.
dungeons.
Yeah,
and-
I did.
yeah,
buy MMO
it's a lot.
once.
You
I'll
go to
never
work
get
for
it.
that.
Yeah,
You don't need
it's
a
like
game like
imagine
that.
playing a game 5 hours a day every day.
people listen. If you're a Destiny fan, people love Destiny. Just not for me.
Yeah, so they actually hint it in ODST. There's a couple posters and it says Destiny Awaits, since is the name of the
Yep.
planet and stuff. So
They were trying to get Microsoft to jump on board with
yeah,
it,
because they needed funding for it.
and Microsoft's like, "No, we're not into that."
So Reach is their swan song for their involvement in the Halo franchise. And after that was done, they would sign over the rights to Microsoft in exchange for Microsoft rescinding the ownership of Bungie. So they said, hey, you can have Halo, but we just want to be Bungie by ourselves. And they said, okay,
You
Yeah.
would
go be
think
Bungie.
that if they wanted to make this game, right, they'd go to Microsoft and be like, listen, we'll make you a Halo game if we can make this. Not be like, all right, we're leaving.
Yeah, but I guess they said
The problem was they
much money.
waited. They waited about a year and a half. If they would have just wrote it out and
Yeah.
waited, the new heads of Xbox that were coming in then,
Hmm.
who were all about helping developers and letting them make the games they want to make, they'd have been in the gravy train.
Sure, but you don't know that. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow I could win the lottery, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
But it just sucks
Yeah.
for
you know,
it just
break
sucks
my
for,
leg
No.
today.
it just sucks for
something
Halo
like-
fans because they want they want Bungie to come back and make a Halo and
Sure.
not 343, which I still think is very possible because I think they're starting to play nice again.
Yeah.
Because they just did like
Never
a whole,
say never.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where if they just would have held out just a little bit longer because the new era of Microsoft then took over and
Right.
they'd have
They-
been a great fit for them.
They really want to make Destiny. When I remember downloading the demo, I'm like, this is just Halo, but different.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. And I didn't give a shit about the multiplayer. Obviously.
Yep.
So now we'll move on to Halo 5 Guardians. So that's not much buzz about Halo 4 yet. It's sold good, but it's like, I didn't play it, so I can't say if it's a good game or bad game. Halo 5, I did play it. I don't think it was that great. The second game in the Reclaimer saga, Guardians, is set a year after Halo 4 and follows Fireteam Osiris, which is my favorite skater shoes, who are tasked with hunting the Master Chief and Blue Team, who have gone AWOL in search of Cortana following her presumed demise. Halo 5 Guardians was officially announced on May 16, 2014, and the first major coverage of the game was unveiled at E3 2014. The game grossed more than 400 million in its opening week, surpassing Halo 4's record of 300 million. However, had the weakest opening sales of any mainline Halo title in the UK and Japan, which don't really sell up well there. Anyway, Halo 5 sold 5+ million retail copies worldwide as of January 2016. Halo 5 features the largest ensemble cast of characters of any Halo game yet, with both new and returning characters. Master Chief reunites with the Spartan team members Kelly, Frederick, and Linda. Halo 5 also features another playable protagonist, Spartan Jameson Locke, which I only played Halo 5 like halfway. I didn't really care for it. I don't remember this guy at all. He's a legendary manhunter on a mission to find Master Chief after Blue Team disappears and several colonies are unexpectedly attacked. Locke is accompanied by Fire Team Osiris, which includes Spartans Edward Buck, Holly Tanaka, and Olympia Vale. What names there? Locke's role in the story is to act as a counterpoint for Chief's legendary and larger-than-life character and to share a viewpoint in the story from outside Master Chief's eyes.
So essentially, I know you keep hearing the name Cortana. So Cortana is a computer chip that goes into Master Chief's head, and he controls like his armor. So
It's an AI.
It's Jarvis.
it's
yeah,
Jarvis.
Yeah.
It's his version of Jarvis. But this AI was created by like a legendary, like historic alien race, and it has like the keys to the universe.
Right.
She would be
And-
super annoying and take over your screen and just be in your
Yeah,
face as
Chief.
you walk.
So essentially, these Halo rings, which are
Oh, yeah.
essentially giant nukes
Mhm.
that can destroy or refresh the world. Everything is trying to get a hold of these nukes. So they're the species that has the nukes. And Master Chief works for the humans, but he has the knowledge of that other people don't want. So even at one point in Halo 5, now humans are like, now we need to go get that Cortana off him.
Mhm.
And then there's
Yeah, but something happens. I never beat 5, but something happens to Cortana, obviously, because you find out in Infinite.
yeah, Cortana. He feels like
Turns
the
bad.
safest thing to do for Cortana is possibly destroy her.
Destroy it.
to,
yeah,
to
I was
delete
gonna
her.
say.
Yeah.
And then Windows for a computer made their Alexa Cortana, so you
Yeah.
can talk to a computer and say, "Hey, Cortana."
Yes, if you're using any Windows-based thing, or even on your phone or your anything like
Oh,
that.
so that's your version of Surrey then.
exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
It is cool though that they brought it from Halo.
Yeah, that is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That's like the only thing where I wish could be not Microsoft. only.
Yeah. Hey, Cortana.
Yeah.
Chief.
Because technically Apple had it first. Halo, right?
Yeah, technically.
That's,
Did
that's
they?
what we just
Yeah.
said.
Back in the
Mac-
day, well,
Mac
Monkey
had it.
Nuts and Blam they had.
Yeah.
They should make that. They should make
Well,
Monkey Nuts and Blam now.
Microsoft and Amazon, or Microsoft and Windows Windows and Apple were working together at one point, and then
Yeah,
both went
and
their
then
own
they-
ways.
yeah.
Yeah. Even
I wonder how that worked out. for
and
them.
Sega and Microsoft were working together on their first system, the Dreamcast, and the Dreamcast sucked. Like not sucked, but people were like, "This system is."
And now that's highly sought after. Now,
it's
the
because it was
Dreamcast stuff.
way ahead of its time.
yeah.
yeah.
The problem was there wasn't enough third-party support for it,
Mhm.
and if that would have came out like maybe 5 years later, because people don't understand online yet.
Yeah.
They didn't get it.
It would
Yeah.
dominate it.
Yeah, I love the Dreamcast.
Well, you got to think too. Not a lot of areas had like fully streaming.
Yeah,
services.
internet,
Like,
yeah.
hello,
Their wires are
was,
still underground.
Yeah, we were dial up forever. Like we were
Dreamcast.
dial up in
Dreamcast-
2007, 8
Wow.
still at home.
Dreamcast tanked Sega. Like they don't make consoles. They're like,
Yeah.
we're done.
That
That's
was
it.
it. Yeah.
And it sucks because like Windows and Sega got together and made that system that would have been fucking.
And at the time,
fantastic.
the graphics were really good.
Mhm.
So after worry from the fans after seeing the main artwork, which does feature what's his name, Jameson Locke, 343 Industries stressed that Locke would not be replacing Master Chief as the main playable protagonist. Because once people say, "Oh, who's this guy? I don't want to be him. I want to be Master Chief." In Halo 5, armor abilities are replaced by a new set of gameplay enhancements known as Spartan Abilities, which are available to all players at any time, both on campaign and multiplayer, and are developed around Spartan Abilities. So
They were trying to take the allure away of Master Chief and being like he's more of just a guy in a suit.
yeah,
And then when they struck big with ODST and they struck big with Reach, they're like, well, maybe we can add more people with just the suit on, and then maybe get away from the Master Chief idea. And the Halo fans are like, not fuckers. We want
Yeah.
if you're giving us Master Chief, we want Master Chief. We don't want all these other people.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to be this other guy we don't
Yeah.
know.
I have a question.
Yes.
So why are all of the first ones rated M and then the last two are rated T?
That I
Because
don't
they
know.
became wimps.
I
They
I
said,
believe there
we
is
can't have this.
there is-
10-year-old kids are playing it anyway. Might as well just lower it.
when you do shoot the aliens, blood comes out, so maybe that's why. But I would think that I don't
Like
don't
I would have
understand.
thought that they were
There's a-
all
maybe-
mature
Yeah.
because of the gun,
There's
the
I would have
weapons.
thought so too.
There's no
Yeah.
cursing, as far as I know.
Right.
I don't know
Maybe
why
the rating
but
system changed. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's
That
so
could
that's
be.
that's what it came down to. This by standards became a T game because it was laser. It was lasers and bullets hitting aliens and not other humans. And
red blood didn't come out.
and it kind of like back in the day, you can say like if you watch Little Monsters movie, the fucking one where the monsters under the bed.
Mhm.
What was it with the kid from Wonder Years? Monster Under My Bed or whatever. Where
Yeah, I know. what
Oh.
you're talking
they
about.
say
I can't
fuck
think
it
what
like
it's called.
3 times, and it's a kids
Oh.
movie.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you hear about one fuck. What is it? 2 shits and 1 fuck and a
Yeah.
rated. What is it? Teen? Or well, no, what's my
PG-13.
So essentially, we
PG-13.
became more.
Well, it's weird that so the teen rating is blood, mild language, and violence, but the mature rating is
It's
only blood and violence.
Yeah,
They-
but they changed it.
different years,
Yeah.
different probably
So-
the rating system.
So the,
I don't
the
know.
Yeah.
reason why
Got
this
it.
went from M to T, because if at one point in time to affect sales, they would say, I'm gonna go in here and buy this game. And the guy, the customer, if he was doing his job correctly,
Oh, yeah,
would
you
say,
can't buy this.
See,
sorry,
'cause
kid, you can't buy Reach unless your mom came in here.
I
Because
was
it does
just
say
gonna
17
I was
plus
just
on
gonna
it.
say, does
This one
anybody
does.
even give a shit about this anymore?
No.
Like, no.
I don't think they
Kids
do.
go in and just buy it. Mom and
And-
dads
and-
don't even look at it.
I mean,
The
how many
rating
movies
system's
have we
totally
seen
And
that
then-
were rated R?
And I
that
think
you
a lot
didn't
of
admit?
I think a
Like,
lot of times too, where you walk in to buy Halo Reach, and you're like,
And-
I'm gonna buy Grand Theft Auto, and I have the same rating as a Grand Theft Auto, and we're both M's, and my game's not even close to that.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of restructured a little.
Yeah,
I don't
which
think
is
I
fair.
ever
Yeah.
had my mom or dad say, "No, you can't go see that. That's rated R."
Yeah, which is weird because
Never.
like, oh, you can't play this game, but you can watch RoboCop when he gets blown away with shotguns and he gets blown apart on TV.
Yeah.
Normal TV. So it's like, come on. So now we're up to date, which is right now Halo Infinite, a direct sequel to Halo 5. Halo Infinite was first announced at Microsoft 2018 E3 conference. The original release date would be late 2020. It didn't happen. On August 11, 2020, it was announced that due to ongoing difficulties in development and due to COVID-19, among other factors, Halo Infinite was to be delayed with a new release date set for December 8th, 2021. That did happen.
It was supposed to be the first Halo since Part 1 that was going to release with the launch of a brand new
Yes,
system.
That was, they wanted to, so it'd be new Xbox, new Halo, just like back in the day.
And what's the new Xbox called? I'm sorry.
It was
Xbox
Series,
Series
the
X.
Series X or S.
It's technically just
Series.
called the Series.
Yeah.
But if you want to get technically,
There's
like real
two, I
technical, it's
think.
the Series X, but the S is the
See, this is where I'm going to
Yeah.
respect
Two.
PlayStation a little bit more. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this, it's
Yeah,
a number system.
the series
This shit is like hard to.
is a little complicated. I think they should call it
crazy.
Series X regular and Series X digital.
Mhm.
That would be much because it is
I think they
confusing. Like
just have a dartboard with post-it notes and they're
Yep.
like,
Yep.
all
There you
right,
go.
because
Series X. got it."
imagine tell your kid, you're telling your parents they don't understand video games. I
Yeah,
want the new
they're not gonna
Xbox.
know.
What's it called? The Series X. They go in the store. I want the new Xbox. Well, Series X or Series S? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get the wrong and just like Nintendo with Wii and Wii U.
Yeah.
No.
Their idea behind it, and I don't agree with it, is they're trying to make it like the Mercedes. When you buy a Mercedes, it's like an
Don't
S
do that,
class.
kids.
Class, yeah.
No, yeah.
Don't do it.
that.
You gotta have a name.
$60 for wiper blades. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You
gotta
can't get at Walmart.
It's true.
Yeah.
You gotta have a name that's very easy to remember. Because like there's people out there that don't understand the difference between regular and diet soda. I see it every single day. I know it sounds stupid. Is this diet? What the fuck does it say?
Yeah.
So imagine Series X, Series S, they even sound like, and then what's
Yeah.
really terrible is the Xbox One X.
Yes.
What the fuck?
There's so much. Yeah.
Yeah, those mid console
just
things
too
really.
much.
Yeah.
The mid console generations were because then it became the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
confuses people.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that's even up with the 3 fucking thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Moving on.
They're saying it's not available for the launch of Xbox Series.
They released a trailer which looked as if, holy shit, this looks like the original Combat Series Halo. The landscapes, it looks like
one, but one nowadays.
But then people really dissected it frame by frame and said, look at these trees aren't rendered properly. This character looks terrible. And
And if you're
that's
doing
nitpicking.
that to
Yeah.
a video game and you just can't sit and enjoy it for the purity of it or for the nostalgia, if it kind of is like the first one that I played when I was in high school
Okay.
or some shit.
But that's like the same thing as like, I know this isn't what we're talking about right now,
Mhm.
but the rating at one point for Spider-Man was the audience was 99%. There was 1%, and those are those people.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, the
Please
problem-
don't-
the
please
problem
don't
is
put me
it
with that
wasn't done
person.
yet.
yeah, the problem is too is that especially when it comes to your video game console choice has became a war amongst
Yeah.
wars where if you choose Xbox or you
Yeah, then
choose
you look for
PlayStation,
things.
the PlayStation people will sit there and no matter what Xbox puts out, get shit on, and then Xbox will do the same thing to PlayStation people. I say whatever you're into, play. You know what I mean? Like,
But there's also them super nerds that like they're never really happy, even if they just they love the Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
well, his current armor isn't quite the same. It's like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah, just put me in a room
Combat
with
so
them.
Series. Like,
essentially
I
Xbox
Combat
is
Series.
Xbox is under a little bit of a heavier microscope because if this Halo Infinite would have released and it would have gotten any criticism by it not looking good or not playing good or had a bug or had anything, because they're trying to really rebrand what Xbox is about right now, and they want to put out quality and they want to be in the same tier, and they're trying to build back an audience they lost because
Xbox One.
previous ownership put them in a hole. They were like,
And they did release. I want to side note the documentaries coming out now.
about the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then now it's about Xbox, and then they're going to talk about the Xbox One. They're actually interviewing that dickhead Don Maddock.
Yep.
Too.
They're going to be like, they're going to be
Who was
completely
that?
transparent about
Which is
what
good.
fucking
Do you still
happened.
get the Red Ring of Death?
No.
No, that's gone.
What is that?
that
What
never
is-
actually
is that
happened
like
to
when the
us.
console
Yeah.
takes a shit.
The Xbox 360
That
had
was the blue screen of death for PlayStation 2 or 3.
Yeah, and computers.
So essentially Xbox management team knew that there was a bug in the system. They wanted to get the system out before PlayStation, release a system they knew had critical errors, and then half of this, over 3/4 of the systems that were sold at that point in time had this what was called the Red Ring of Death. And if it happened to your system was fucked.
yeah,
And it put a huge
it was like cost them like 20 million.
yeah, it put them in a huge
It
hole.
happened to me.
And the thing is, if the system didn't break, Xbox 360 was a fantastic system.
I love threes. That's one
Yeah.
of my favorites of all time. That's why I have 225 games.
Yeah.
Um,
And it actually didn't really get fixed until the special edition versions, like the Gears of War 3
yeah,
version.
I have the Star Wars one.
Yeah, and that's where they're
When
like,
it-
these ones are good.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
good to go.
Oh, did that
Yeah,
look
the
like
Gears
Darth
one, right?
Vader?
Yeah.
No, it
Or
looks like
not?
R2D2, and the
Oh,
controller
okay.
C3PO, and then Petra goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
Gears
really
one
cool.
did the
Yeah,
noise.
and then
right?
there's a
Chainsaw.
Halo one too. There's a Master Chief one.
Yep.
That's kind of like his colors.
That's
It's really
cool.
that one goes for like 400 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, on November 15th, 2021, the multiplayer was released in beta in celebration of Halo's 20th anniversary. And with all unlocks and progressions during this period transferring over to the full release when it is released, the multiplayer was also free download and available to play by anyone that owned an Xbox Series X or S, not even needing Xbox Gold to play online. To play multiplayer, for those that don't know, on any game, you got to play Xbox Gold, which is $10 a month.
Was it available on PC?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
It might be, but I do
I'd
not.
imagine.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Since
I would
the-
you would think, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. So 100% free to anyone who owns an Xbox. The single player campaign and physical edition of the game was released on December 9th, which was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
The campaign takes place on Installation 07, a forgotten Halo ring world. The game is the first seamless open world broken up by linear story missions. The campaign has been described as being larger than the campaigns of both Halo 4 and 5 combined. And so far, it probably is. If you do everything. Now, if you just do the main missions, yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours.
There's an achievement to beat in 8 hours. There is no co-op on launch of the game, making it the first Halo game with no co-op. Although 343 Studios said that they will add it later in its season 2, which has also been delayed from its initial estimate of 3 months after launch.
I know it kind of sucks, and we're in a day and age where it's kind of like, I want to watch a TV show and I want every season, every episode now so I could binge it. I kind of like the idea that it's going to make me, if I really, really want to play it, I have to go through the experience by myself. Because I think even right now you can't even go back and replay like the old
You
ones.
can't
You
replay
can,
missions because it's an open world.
yes.
You have to start a new save.
So I kind of like the idea where like I'm gonna go and experience the game the first time myself, and then I can go back with a Nikolai or an Anthony or somebody, or even you,
I
and be
mean,
like, let's go look for
A Nikolai.
It would be
A Nikolai.
maybe Nikolai Volkov.
yeah, and we can go back and look for collectibles. and
Yeah,
stuff
I mean the
together.
story and
Yeah.
everything's gonna be the same, but yeah, the experience is different.
Yeah.
But you could tell, like, so when you get the bases, you'll see there's 4 things at every single base.
And there's like
that you could-
outposts you can take over.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that you can get weapons from. You're like, well, why would I need 4?
You know what I like about this game too?
I'm only one person. Why would I need 4? So you can tell it's designed, and then we call the vehicle like, okay, I have vehicles with multiple people can get on. Well, I'm only one person.
So you're thinking they could let up to 4 people play?
Yeah.
That's sick.
So 4 people could be at your base. You have your 4 boxes. You get your weapons.
I think we just landed the first online game we're gonna get Andy to play.
So, yeah, but I would play co-op. Co-op, I'll play. I don't.
Co-op story.
I don't give a shit about multiplayer.
Yeah, co-op
So I got a
story.
question for you about the story mode.
Yeah.
How's the needler in it? Is it there? 'Cause
Yeah, yeah,
The
it's-
multiplayer, it's kind of scarce.
Well, it's good, but then there's in the game when there's high value targets, and when you
Okay.
go and kill them, you unlock like upgraded weapons, and there's an upgraded needler that's silver and it does
Oh.
more damage.
Can you upgrade your suit and stuff? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what the needler is, it was a gun I was absolutely obsessed with. Basically, it has these crystals on it
It looks
that
like a porcupine.
kind of, yeah. And when you shoot it, it almost has
It's
like
homing.
targeting, yeah.
It's
And
like-
it follows them,
Yeah,
and then they
needles.
explode.
Yeah, they stick into them and then they pop.
Yeah, and I believe the
Sounds
upgrade one,
Crystals,
their
man,
crystals are
crystals.
blue.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure.
This game for me, I always stick to the human weapons. I'm always more into the human weapons because there's like a whole set of human weapons and a whole set of alien weapons.
Yeah, but now there's upgraded human weapon. Well, there's upgraded everything. But I like there's a heat wave gun.
Mhm.
I don't say alien like shotgun.
there's-
It's awesome.
There's
Oh.
human vehicles and there's alien vehicles. Like
Yeah.
there's 2 different races for everything. It's kind of cool. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool. The main boss looks really cool in this one. He's a giant like the monkey
I
dude.
forget his name, Abraxas or something like that.
Yeah. It's like another species.
Yeah.
What else with the new one that's pretty exciting?
That you get weapon. She's her new Cortana because
Yeah, yeah.
Cortana was apparently deleted.
Well, she
because
still
was
calls
gonna-
herself Cortana.
No,
Did she? Because I know in my first cutscene, she's like, I'm
no,
Cortana.
that's him remembering Cortana. This one's weapon. You'll see it when you play. Yeah.
Because even she's like, she refers to herself as Cortana.
No, weapon does not.
No.
That's what you just see a flashback.
Um,
You'll get there.
yeah, it's really cool. The stories, the gameplay looks fantastic.
Yeah,
Plays
so-
beautifully.
The game. Let me
Oh,
just
real
finish
quick.
up.
Hey, the achievements, you can essentially get every achievement in the game, and the only 3 achievements that they block from you is beating it in hard and legendary. So you can literally get all the achievements.
Well, you could do that in any game.
No, but sometimes they'll be like, do this on legendary, and like some older Halos, like beat the game in this amount of time on legendary with this skull. Like they made achievements that were like really, really geared to doing it with the hardest difficulty. Where this one's like unlock everything, beat everything, and then they're like beat the game on legendary, beat the game on.
Oh,
hard.
you mean it's separate achievements? I know what
Yeah.
you're saying there. Okay.
There was a lot of achievements on Halo that used to annoy me because like beat this
It was too
map
hard.
in 16 minutes with this skull
Yeah.
on legendary, like and take no damage. You're like, fuck you.
That's kind of the new thing is like people realize like a lot of the game things like, hey, these achievements and trophies are too hard to get. Let's make them easier because people like getting them.
Yeah, I think
like Ratchet and Clank did that, and they said there's no shame in making easy platinums.
Yeah.
or easy 100.
I think
1,000
Xbox is
gaming.
going to start leaning into that platinum idea, where if you get all of them, you
Yeah,
get.
you should get a little trophy.
I think that's what they're starting
Because
they're talking about
In the
it.
mail, like they send you
Yeah.
a little trophy.
For those that don't know, PlayStation has trophies, and if you complete the game, you get platinum. Xbox just has a number of gamer score, so you get 1,000, but this one always has 1,600. So if you do everything in the game, you get achievement of 1,000.
Yeah, this one has co-op online achievements and then storyline achievements.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the game includes a dynamic day and night cycle, which lasts approximately 1 hour. Enemies will sometimes act differently per the time of day. Some enemies are sleeping at night, for example. Weather elements such as wind and fog coming in at different altitudes. Rain and snowstorms won't be featured at launch, but will be added in the future. So that's kind of cool. It's going to rain and it's going to snow when you go up in the mountains and stuff. Halo Infinite, there's not much numbers, so it has sold over 81 million after the franchise debuted in November 2021. And then Microsoft has not had the sales breakdown. Microsoft declared that Halo had made more than 6 billion plus in worldwide product sales. I figure that is confirmed to include all merchandise along with the games themselves. So it's just at $6 billion since 20 years. That's pretty good. And this game is good. You can get it's the first one where you can upgrade Master Chief. He gets different abilities. I have maxed out already. Get like the drop wall, which puts the shield in front of him, and you get the he has a grappling hook. This is the first game of the grappling hook, which you can do that. In multiplayer, it's like you get sometimes Master Chief has it all the time. So you can scale mountains and stuff. There's like you gotta wait for a cooldown. But the graphics are really good. It's a lot of fun.
I got some Halo stuff.
Go ahead, yeah.
So
I
this
don't
is-
have everything. There's
This
all
is
kinds of-
Halo franchise by the numbers. So this is some accolade and awards. The Halo series game is amongst the most critically acclaimed of all time. Over the past 10 years, Halos have collectively garnered more than 840 media and industry awards, accolades, and nominations. Halo has received more than 100 Game of the Year awards from major media organizations, as well as multiple Game of the Decade accolades for its impact in the industry and global pop culture. Guinness Book of World Records named Halo the #1 game series of all time based on a 2010 reader poll. Halo Combat Evolved appeared as one of the 20 unique cover designs for Ed Magazine's 20th year anniversary, which came out in August 2013. The publication celebrates the defining games each year has passed since Ed's launch in 1993, and Halo Combat Evolved was chosen as the definitive title of 2001. Master Chief has been consistently ranked among the most recognized video game characters of all time, appearing on lists from Guinness, Empire, and more. Halo 5 Live earned a Guinness Book of World Records title for the most watched video game launch broadcast, setting a precedent with more than 330,000 total views on an evening of the broadcast. Some more interesting facts from Halo. More than 70 million copies of Halo games have been sold worldwide. That's total. Halo franchise has generated over 5 billion worldwide sales to date. Over 6 billion hours of Halo gameplay has been logged by players on Xbox Live. As November 4th, 2015, Halo 5 Guardians is the biggest Halo launch and fastest selling Xbox One exclusive game to date, with over 400 million in global sales of Halo 5 Guardians games and hardware. It is also the most best-selling digital game ever on the Xbox Series store its opening week. During the opening week for Halo 5, Guardians fans logged more than 21 million hours of total gameplay, and this is a Halo that they didn't like.
Yeah.
And everyone just went right to the
This
online.
is probably the lowest rated of them.
Yeah, Halo 5 Guardians, including 12 million hours in campaign mode alone. The multiplayer has also led to millions of total hours played and nearly 7 million multiplayer matches played across arena and all new Warzone maps. So once again, this is where where it comes down. I'm not trying to pick a side here, but like PlayStation had your story mode games where you can play by yourself and you don't have to be online. You can enjoy that cinematic thing, where Xbox has given you that cinematic one-player game, but also gives you the thing to play it with your friends, the same story, or you can go on and play online multiplayer. There's like one game is consistent of almost 3, but they get criticized for not having games, which is why I kind of
I think you see that. I don't think they say they don't have games. I don't see
that has been the literal thing that PlayStation people have been saying, that Xbox has no games.
PlayStation people, not everyone. That doesn't account for all video game people.
The
Halo,
media,
Gears of War, Forza, Alan Wake.
According to all fucking media outlets, Xbox.
Not all media.
Xbox has been saying forever.
You look at Xbox what you're looking at is like a pro-Republican website.
No.
Of course they're going to say bad things about Democrats. And of course the pro-Republican website is saying everyone is saying
I watch Gamia media
against us. I watch the Spawn Wave guy. That's very down the middle. He never says anything like that.
Same here, but I watch him. I watch IGN. I watch Game Ranks.
Yeah.
And even Xbox himself had been saying, since they went and did all the acquisitions.
That's what was me.
No, they've been literally saying, you guys have been saying we don't have games.
Who says that? Have you ever met a person that said that?
Yes.
Who?
Tony says it all the time.
Name them.
My name? A friend of mine. A lot of PlayStation people say you guys have no games. I agree. I totally agree. But where they say I don't
understand that. Like, you have no games.
You're
Call of Duty is on every system.
You're indulging.
Assassin's Creed is on every system.
Yeah.
So is Fallout, Skyrim, well, not now.
But you're indulging in people who want to just pick a fight.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just back off.
You're listening to the far ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're a pop culture media podcast. So
sit
I'm
in
just
the goddamn middle.
I'm just I personally don't care because I enjoy that system and I play for what it is. But I'm just telling you what the sides say.
If I was to hang around, if I was to hang around all Republican people,
yes,
I'm going to hear a Republican slant, right? So they're going to say everyone's attacking us. Everyone's saying we don't have this.
So so
the Xbox people that are hardcore, not the normal people like me, they're going to say we don't have none. Let's show them.
Yeah.
Then the regular people are like, they have plenty.
Yeah.
So like, you see what I'm saying?
So you've never heard anyone ever say that Xbox has no games? Never.
No.
Ever.
And I've never heard it.
Have you ever heard that?
No, but I've never heard outside of this table that PlayStation has no games either.
Yeah. I've never heard that
according to like what you would say for most of your media outlets for video games, PlayStation has the best exclusives and Xbox doesn't have any.
To be fair though, I don't watch any of that.
Yeah. I think that's slanted to.
I mean,
what was
though?
me like?
Now you're in the media, Xbox. Have you heard that where Xbox has no games or no exclusives?
Let's see what he says.
I think it's like very rare to hear it. Maybe like once I heard it, but like even what you said, like with the PlayStation people, like saying they have games. Do they really though?
I think it would be about
Compared to like
equal.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
I would say Nintendo.
I would
is
agree with
the
that.
king
You know
of that.
what?
I would agree with that.
I'm gonna start a business where I just leak things from both sides just to piss people off.
So when I have these conversations, with,
PlayStation has no
I'm gonna
games.
leak fake things.
Yeah.
so when I
Yeah,
have
fake
conversations
things.
with people who are
I'm
PlayStation
on board
fans,
with Nikolai.
I enjoy both
Just to
systems.
piss
I
people
normally
off.
buy both
get
systems, so
people
I have
angry.
I prefer the Xbox over the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But the reason I prefer the Xbox is for games like Halo and Gears of War, where I can play them online and play a multiplayer, then do all that.
You know, I'll tell you this: I prefer the PlayStation 2 over the Xbox. Where we are
Well,
now.
everyone had the.
You're out of control.
Oh God!
No.
PlayStation 2.
I didn't have to download games; they were all beautiful. Now, if
Oh,
they
this
brought
is-
those
this is
games
true.
back,
All beautiful for their time.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
that's
well,
what I'm saying.
that's-
If they
that's
brought
fair.
all those games back on a console today, I'd say fuck PlayStation 2.
So you rather
I
a
want
game
those games.
you rather a game you buy
not-
once and it's done forever.
Yes,
I like
want,
that too.
You don't like to having the upgrade and
No,
and-
see, I want movie games, and that's the error of where
Yes.
that thrived.
I'm,
Yep.
Now we got nothing.
yeah, I'm
Well,
kind of.
PlayStation's still doing that.
I'm kind of
with
like
the movie
Nikolai
games.
too because like I like to be a completionist. So I want to beat this game. I want to get everything done.
Mhm.
If you keep adding this game, that means I'll never beat it. I'll have to constantly
See,
do
I,
stuff.
I don't
Yeah.
like that idea either.
So I like to beat it and then have it and then
Beat it
play
and
this
be
one
done.
and beat this
Yeah.
one. But I can always go back and play this one.
Yeah.
'cause
Well,
it still
if they're
exists.
going to add
But
to
I don't
it,
want all this. And then here's more. Here's more. Oh, keep going. No,
So-
I want it to end.
when they add to a game,
Yes.
it's easy. It's usually a DLC story,
Yes.
That's 300 gigabytes.
or it's they're adding to the online multiplayer aspect so your
Mhm.
game doesn't get stale. That's all they're adding to it.
Yeah, but I'd rather give me a new one. I want that game to be done and be completed, and then give me a new
I
one.
just
No.
have a whole new.
If I'm playing the online multiplayer and
If
all
I'm
you're
eating
gonna,
a sandwich, don't keep adding to it. I just want to eat the sandwich
Apples
and be
and
done,
oranges.
and then give me
It's
another
cheese.
sandwich.
well,
later.
listen,
horrible analogy.
let's-
No, it's not
that's
horrible
different.
analogy.
Horrible.
That
If
is
you're
because
eating a
I want more of
sandwich-
a sandwich.
Yeah.
Keep giving me more.
Give me
What-
more slices
No.
of cheese, man.
No,
would you rather a buffet or
Lettuce.
go to a
Wanna
restaurant,
add
eat
some
once,
lettuce
and then
in
come
that?
back and pay for a full meal
it
again later?
depends what the food. If it's a good steak, I'm fine with that.
So if the steak was good,
Yes.
and they're say, okay, Andy, you're finished your steak.
Yes.
Would you like
No
more
more.
steak for free?
Yeah, but
Yes,
no
I'm
one, no
full.
world will do that.
Yeah, I'm
Nobody
full.
does.
Go to
that.
where's this buffet that has steak? I'll go there.
I'm doing that analogy right
Shady
now.
Maple, you can get steak. It's
Yeah.
a Tuesday night or Wednesday
I
night.
So-
just
so
sent
you-
you that.
so you just
Celtic
agreed.
jumper
So
about
if a
steak
game
and
is
not having
online,
kids.
and you finish the online and you've done everything like
Yes.
like a fortnight,
Yeah,
and they're saying,
I would
"Cool,
never play for
you enjoyed that you enjoyed that steak,
Yeah,
we're going to give you more steak for free
Yeah,
instead of buying a brand new game." And instead of walking out the door,
But-
come back in and pay for your full $6.
but you can't eat steak every day
No,
because eventually
Well,
you get tired.
I don't know
Yes,
about
right.
that.
Eventually you get tired.
no, I get tired of steak.
Eventually you get tired of anything. You can't do everything. You can't have sex
All right.
every hour and every day.
All right, so
Eventually you'll be like, I need
All
to
right,
not have
challenge
sex.
accepted.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I'm just saying I much rather an
See
online
ya,
game.
2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
But like,
because a
but
lot of online
but
games
look
don't
at,
change.
Look at what they made here,
Mhm.
right? So if this was all one game, they
It
wouldn't
is.
have made as much.
So
No, no, it's not. No, it isn't.
it is. It is.
What was it? This one made 200 million, and then it was 220 million, and then it was 300 million.
Okay.
Okay, if
So-
that was all one game, if you just bought that once, then it wouldn't be 500. It
So-
wouldn't be
so-
the total combined
So
amount.
take this game out.
Yes.
Take this game out. Hold these.
Yes.
Hold
Are
these
they
two.
bad ones?
This is all.
Listen, Halo 3 is really the only one that matters, guys.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it is.
they have one game.
Yes.
This is all one game right now.
Yeah. Right
That's
now.
the Master Chief
Master
collection.
Chief
That don't
Collection.
count.
Yes, that don't count.
Yeah,
It's
you're
a
right.
re-release.
That is one game that I'm a pissed that I have to
It's-
download every fucking game to play one game that I want to play.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot
They don't
download
let
them
you pick.
separately. No.
Oh, you can't anymore.
No.
Really?
No. No.
No,
No.
you
You
never
can't.
could.
You never could.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. When that came out, they got rid of all the single downloads to make you buy that one. Which
Oh.
I mean is the collection.
Fine. I'll buy the one, but let me download the one game that I want to play.
But
I'll buy it 17
That
times.
is a
Fine.
collection of many games.
I think
so
the reason they do that is because the multiplayer, because they put all the multiplayers in one.
Fine.
maybe.
Give me a separate multiplayer. I
A-
don't
a
want
lot of
fucking
people-
Halo 1 and
a
2.
lot of people do want that. They want the
Yeah.
separate Halo 2 and 1 multiplayer experience. But
Yeah.
See, this is where I'm back in time too. Like you said, I just want to put the disc in. I want to play it. I want to be done. I
Yeah.
don't actually
Mhm.
want to play with anybody else either. Like multiplayer shit. That's
I
not my
play
jam.
More games
So if,
plugging in my PlayStation 2
if
right
you
now.
if you got
on
your
Xbox.
PlayStation 2, got a game you're really excited for, and there was a game breaking bug in that game, and it was completely useless, and you couldn't play it ever again.
Why would I play it to start with?
But you really wanted to play it. But now in an age where they're like, oh shit, we fucked up, or we didn't know that was a thing. Here's a patch. Download. You're good
Okay.
to go.
if that's the case, a bitch to the company be like, I want a refund.
That's
I'll
right.
get a new disc when they reprint.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
they would.
I'm
when
just
that
saying
would happen-
technology.
They would
is good
have
now.
to.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Yeah.
they would have
It
had to
is-
reprint it and give you one.
Sure, they can do little updates.
Not
now.
always. Ask
Fine.
Super Nintendo users who bought, what was it, Lion King? What game
No,
was it?
it's Batman and Robin.
There was a few
you
games
can't
that had
beat it,
you,
yeah.
there was a game like you couldn't beat,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they were just
yeah,
like
an ET.
they were
What
just
was
like
ET
go
on,
fuck
too?
yourself.
Yeah, that was time when they didn't have as much as they know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm
What I'm
not-
saying is that
discredit-
say
But
a
at that
PS2
time, I don't think
is-
you paid what $60 a game either.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, but
think
also
so.
there's so much
Went up
more
so
into a
much.
game right now where you can't. The reason you can't just put a game in and play it anymore is because it's just two different. We're in a
Well,
different.
some you can.
Yeah.
And some it all depends.
Yeah, if you want to play like an eight
No,
bit-
I mean like some,
8-bit game.
some games you don't have to download no updates because everything is okay at first.
All right,
and then
let me tell you this. Destroy All Humans.
Mhm.
PlayStation 2 game.
Mhm.
I still have to fucking download it to my system.
It's not it's not the exact same game.
They just reskinned it.
Yeah,
the
because
other-
because what they're adding to it is
Okay.
more in depth,
The
and it's
game's
running
done
at
then.
and it's running at a higher frame rate.
but
They-
it is done, so they should make
Yeah.
a copy that.
That's what I'm saying.
done.
I physically have the disc.
but you're not
there-
playing the same game.
No, he's not. No, he's saying
It's
for the new one.
Same fucking game.
The game
Yeah.
that you're playing on your
It's
PlayStation
the
2 and the
game.
brand new one they just reskinned for the new system.
Oh, it's
or
the same game.
it's reskinned. I'm telling you, it's reskinned.
I'm telling you, I played the old one.
It's
the
reskinned
Same
now.
fucking game.
It's reskinned.
Okay, then
would-
give me the old skin on the new system.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
What
Okay.
that is being done with backwards compatibility on Xbox.
Not enough though.
I didn't try to put a 360 game in the Series X yet.
And it will make you download something because what they're doing is they're
Like
doing
like a player.
no, it's making you download a pretty much making the game run at its absolute best for you.
Yeah.
So in,
But
back in
so-
the day, that game probably ran at like whatever specs are
Yeah.
at,
So let's say I
30
put in,
frames per second. Now
I
with
put
the
in
new system,
Halo 1. Will it work?
it should.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
I mean,
never
does
tried it.
regular Xbox games work? I gotta try that one again.
All I do is digital, so I wouldn't know.
Well,
Actually,
it's just
the
not
first
tell like would it just be like this game is not compatible?
It will I said this
Probably.
this not be.
I don't know if it's
Oh.
available yet, but I wanted to play Mad Max 3.
Uh-huh.
And supposedly that's backwards
You mean
compatible.
Max Payne?
Max Payne. What did I say? Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max
I
Payne
was going
3.
to say Mad Max had a video game.
It
Yes,
did. It was
did.
really good.
It did. It was pretty good. It gets a little
Oh, yeah.
repetitive. Yeah.
Yeah, very repetitive, but it was still really fun.
And then at the end, you
And what
unlock
year
the
was
ri-
that?
About
2008.
no, 2012, 14.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
when
somewhere
I
around
was
there.
already out.
Yeah, it was for. I had on PlayStation 4. So
Yeah.
yeah,
PlayStation actually gave that game as a free thing for PlayStation Plus. I
yeah,
think, at
they
one
did.
point.
It's fun.
It was
Because I
fantastic.
actually have it in my library.
And when
I
you
think
can play
Xbox
it.
did as well.
Yeah, they did. When you beat the game, you unlock his original from the 80s movie, his
And his-
outfit
and his outfit and car.
Interceptor. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it's fun.
It was a
But-
really good game.
It was loosely based off the newer movie.
Yeah.
Loosely.
Yeah, you kind of weren't Mel Gibson, but you definitely weren't Tom Hardy.
Yeah, you were
Oh.
kind of. He looked in between, but you
Yeah.
got the shotgun and everything.
Yeah.
And,
And all the villains were. It was kind of like Assassin's Creed met
Yeah,
Mad Max.
yeah. You would go to the bases and
Yeah.
get the gas.
Go around and
stuff.
collect
Yeah.
like scraps of metal and upgrade
Yeah.
your car. And
Yeah.
add
was-
more.
it
I
was
don't know.
fun. I did
I
beat
was
it.
a fan of the Mad Max movies, the old one and the new one.
The new one was fantastic.
Fantastic. Is
Yeah.
right.
All right, so that is our episode. But
We didn't get into Spidey.
that's what I'm about to say right
Oh.
now. So
Get out.
if you want to hang out for the actually, let's do this. Andy, what do you got to plug?
What do I got to plug? I was on John Rand's podcast, Moran and Friends. So if you like wrestling talk, check that out. Moran and Friends on any podcast thing. I think the video comes out on YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, Andy
So-
Hedder, professional wrestler, podcaster.
Yes, I like how that.
but he is
am-
part of
am-
podcasters here.
among many other things.
Yeah.
So
I just thought they would have tagged like Tornado Tag or something.
I plugged it. So if you listen to the show, you hear me. say it.
Nikolai.
So a couple weeks ago, I won the contest for Make Films. They are doing, well, they filmed already a movie in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is pretty close to us, called Brave the Dark, and they were doing this big giveaway. They were doing like 6 or 7 weeks, but this week is the last week, and they're gonna draw. I believe it's every Friday at noon. And this one's a big one. There's like there's a couple shirts you can get. You can get a hat. There's a like a Ziploc tote bag kind of thing, and I got mine for week 3, and it was awesome. They sent me a bunch of stickers, a notebook, pins, 2 of the shirts, and part of it is, at least with mine, it was a $25 gift card to a local place. So not only are they promoting themselves, but they're also letting you have this option that they're going to buy a gift card for a local place for you as well. I chose because I knew they were going to do Brave the Dark shirts at some point. Just be like, hey, give me a gift card for you guys because I'm just going to get that anyway. So then they sent me that early, which was cool. So go check them out. for their last giveaway.
Anthony.
So my plug is for Power Rangers Legacy Wars. On Friday, they release the Red Lightspeed Power Ranger into the game. Which I want to say that their tier thing is a pain in the butt.
So this is a fighting game.
Yeah, it's a mobile fighting game. And you basically have to buy the characters, but you don't know if you're going to get them.
How do you
Like,
screen cap that?
Oh, is it like
It's great.
packs? And like you just get random characters?
It's like you get shards for their characters. You need 10 to unlock them initially.
Uh-huh.
But when it's the highest tier, they actually tell you what the percent is. It's like 26% of you getting one, maybe.
Boy.
Mm.
And it's like
I don't-
rough.
Yeah,
But
when they make you overgrind, I don't like games like that.
Yeah, when it's random, it's like, boy, like if it was a Marvel game, I really want Scarlet Witch. Oh, I got moved.
You know what I
And I
see
was
when I
like-
see that? Buy stuff.
Yeah, nope.
but the gameplay is really good for those characters, even though like it's hard to get them. But like some of them aren't like that, where it's like very low chances. It's like it's just because that was the highest tier type thing. So the other ones are usually like maybe like 50 to 75%. So it's not like you're gonna not get one at least, and you'll be able to get them to at least, if it's like a purple, maybe up to level 5, and their max is I think like maybe like 13 or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kelly.
I'm going to plug my friend Jackie at the Eclectic Apothecary, and she's doing free tarot readings until the new year. So check her out.
Ooh.
She has multiple lives on her Facebook page, and you can go on and get a free tarot reading from her. The other person I want to plug is Kate up at the Beauty Bar, and thank you for doing my hair so nice this weekend.
Oh,
or this
Kate.
week.
Beauty
Mhm.
bar or
Beauty
barn?
bar. No, bar.
Because barn sounds
McCarthy.
cool too.
No,
Carthy.
beauty bar. It's she does like the original one was like a coffee, like she had like a Keurig. So she still has the Keurig and like donuts and stuff.
Oh,
It used to
Okay.
be over here, and they
Mhm.
moved. So when you
Yeah.
leave here and
Mhm.
you go up to the corner and make a right, and you go right on the main road,
Mhm.
it's on the left hand side. It like takes up like 3/4 of a block.
Great service,
Okay.
friendly service, and
There was a
she's
girl in there. I
super,
don't know if she's still there,
super
but she was like a barber.
talented.
She did it like she
Yes,
was like
I think she's still there. I know the last time I know she had a couple guys walk in.
yeah, she's really everyone there is super talented, super
Yeah.
friendly. They do a really good job,
In
Yeah.
Frackville,
and they're out of
Pennsylvania.
Frackville, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
they do good stuff. I used to get my hair cut back in the day there, but then I stopped cutting my hair.
Hmm.
Maybe if I had to get like touched up or something, I'll go back. Katie can do me up.
No,
She's cool. She's good people. I love Katie.
she
to death.
is good people.
Heidi,
Tornado Tag podcast on Thursday.
what are we talking about?
I don't remember.
Slim Jims.
We are going to be talking about our end of the year awards. We're going to be doing this week and next week are going to be our end of the year awards. We're going to be talking about.
Are we doing
Are you
that? I thought we were doing.
Well, the predictions thing is
prediction.
not a whole episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
do the predictions. We'll sneak them in too. We'll do a
Okay.
couple predictions here. Like we'll do end of the year prediction, and because the next 2 episodes will be the part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll do that. We might have a guest on. I'm not sure yet. I'm still in contact with somebody, but we may go guest list until the end of the year. We'll find out. That show also has a brand new logo. So if you want to go get that, it's the Cosmic and Rembrandt logo. So go check them out. Yeah, and just like I said, go to the website, iwepnetwork.com. Support the other shows. If you can get merch, do it. If you can do a Patreon, that helps us out a lot too. If you're watching this back later, screenshot it. You made it this far. Screenshot it. Send us a message. Just say, hey, I enjoyed the episode, or hey, I disagree, or I hate that view. Just
I
tell
hate
us.
all of
Hey,
you.
We honestly, TikTok's been killing it for us. So we are also on TikTok too. So head over to TikTok, search Not Cool in High School podcast. Some of our videos have been doing really well. You're fucking talking about
Jingle all the way.
Jingle All the Way
Mhm.
had like a
Yeah.
1,000 people
Really?
watching.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then the one
You're TikTok famous.
yeah,
How
and then
about
the
that?
other
I
And
haven't
you're
on
not
it.
even on it.
both
I'm
TikToks
not
that
on it.
are big hits. That one that had like a lot of conversation
Yeah.
pieces was you hating on the rap. Or, yo yo yo. And
It's awful.
Yeah.
It is.
And,
Anyway, let's not get on that.
but yeah, so you're both of
How
your
about that?
your
Good.
takes have been
Getting
big
famous
hits.
on there. Good.
Tornado Tag's been doing really well. Our
Good.
one video where we talked about Gargano, that went really well.
Mhm.
So yeah, TikTok's been got a lot of fun. So if you're on TikTok, go follow us there as well. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. We're getting close. Our goal is to hit 1,000 on every platform.
Oh,
If we can
wow.
do that,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Now, this is running awful long. Do you want to stop this and do the Spider-Man thing separately?
That's what so I'm gonna stop it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the thing, and then you ever remember the secret tracks? The secret.
Oh,
track?
yeah. Remember that on the end of a CD? And it'd be
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
2 minutes of nothing. And it was like,
So
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end this as if this show is completely over.
Okay.
So we're already at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna secret
So
track
you
this.
could download this episode of
It'll be part of the end. If you want to listen to it, you can end this episode right now.
Mhm.
If you wait till the music is over. We'll have like a
But
a
would it
couple
be,
seconds.
Would it be a separate download?
Nope. Well, all one download. If you want to hear about Spider-Man before the movie drops on Blu-ray and we talk about it then,
Oh, so this
Yeah,
is one
and just put a
giant episode then?
timestamp in it. Like we should put a timestamp.
or
in
if they made it this far in the episode,
yeah.
they're
You
gonna
just
listen to
turn
this.
it-
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can keep it on if you want to. If you want to keep watching for Spider-Man, stay with us. If you don't want to hear about Spider-Man, turn it off. You got a full episode, and we didn't spoil anything for you.
There you go.
That was my little mental plan as we go. So this is Not Cool in High School. We're out of here. But if you want the encore, chant it, baby. We'll come back on stage. We'll see you in a little bit. We're out of here. If I could find the button. Here we are. All right. If you're still watching, it's your own fault.
Or listening.
We warned you.
Yeah, we warned you. Actually, I'm gonna change the banner real quick. We're add a new banner.
The Spider-Man on it.
Oh,
Slim Jims. We got you for 3 minutes.
We here for 3 minutes.
That's what we should do anymore. Anytime we go to a movie as a group, we should bring Slim Jims for everybody.
I-
Slim Jims for everybody.
Yeah, I'm
We're
all
gonna
for
get
Slim Jims
sponsored
for
by
everybody.
Slim Jim.
Jims.
I'm gonna put paperwork in to get our tag sponsored by Slim Jim.
I would
Not tell
fucking-
you.
I would
Be like,
I would love that. You know how many? Literally every
love
time I go to a gas station, that is my go.
Every
My,
time.
I have to buy a Slim.
I've
Jim.
never had one, but they're
Oh,
fun to
never
throw
had
at
a
people.
Slim Jim?
Never
I
eaten a
like the
Slim Jim.
Bigfoot ones. What
Are
do they
you
call it?
kidding?
I never had a
Sasquatch
Slim Jim,
ones
no.
or whatever?
Why?
I don't
Okay.
know. I just never did.
Oh my goodness.
They're like
If
my
you get a
dad's
sponsor by
favorite
Slim
hunting
Jim,
snack.
I'd fucking.
I guess I'd have to
Eat
then.
one, yeah.
I'd kiss you right in your mouth. Yeah,
With a Slim Jim. Your Slim Jim not greasy. mouth.
we're gonna Lady in the
I was
Tramp a
just
Slim
like
Jim.
Lady and Tramps.
All right, world. If we get sponsored by Slim Jim, I'll try it. Get
You're
the
Lady in
foot.
the Tramp with me?
No,
Oh, that would be fun.
You had to be more
I
specific,
will.
Nikolai.
I will, and I'll eat all of it.
for the views.
We'll have Slim Jim races.
For
We'll
the
put-
gram.
Yeah, we'll have Slim Jim races. Who get the middle first?
Me.
Yeah, I'm not down. She won't even. She won't even chew. I've seen her do it like 20 minutes ago. Actually, more than 20. It's a 2-hour podcast.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Nice segue in there.
Spider-Man No Way Home. So this is the spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, get the hell out or turn this episode off. So everyone here at the table has seen it except Andy, but
No,
Andy
I was
doesn't
gonna say,
give
no,
a
I haven't.
fuck about
I
spoilers.
don't care. You know, I don't give a shit because I want
That's
to see
how I
something,
am. I
I'll
don't
still
care.
see it. You can
Yeah.
tell me what happens. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's
And
how I
plus,
am.
like these people that say, "Oh, don't post spoilers. Don't post." How about you don't look at the fucking Facebook?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't read it. Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
don't want to know something, I don't look at it.
Spoil-
If you go on the internet and you just look at the sports, they're not going to say, in Spider-Man, fucking Tobey
Right.
Maguire's in it.
Yeah.
And,
But-
and then the Eagles lost. That doesn't happen. But if you go on Facebook, yes, you will see it
Yeah.
on Facebook. And you don't got to complain
Well,
about
I think
Yeah.
people are pissy because people don't even put the warning out there sometimes.
Yeah,
they
but-
don't even say, "Hey, spoiler warning! I'm going to talk about Spider-Man: No Way Home here."
But
I think
we
you got a
all
week.
know
I think when it comes to pop culture, I think so. When it comes to
Yeah.
sports, you don't have a warning anymore. There used to be a grace period with MMA.
Mhm.
But MMA and pro wrestling, I would say you had 48
Not
hours.
With, not with social media anymore.
Not even with UFC is now a thing where
Okay.
it's,
instant
but
results.
You go on a little
That's a
limp there.
one-time thing,
yes.
Yeah.
not a movie.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just trying to put
Like-
I'm putting it out there for like spoiler when it
Yeah.
comes to sports because pop culture is still sports. But like I think
Sure.
like back in the day when UFC was only on pay per view and there wasn't on TV and ESPN didn't even cover MMA and the only way you could get spoilers were like MMAtorch.com and the
Mhm.
same thing with pro wrestling. You had like a 48-hour window where you're like, oh shit, I can't watch it on Saturday night. I'm going to stay away from everybody. I don't want to know.
Mhm.
When it comes to movies, TV show, video games, I think you have a week grace period. I think that's the fairness.
We all know if you look on social media,
Somebody's gonna be talking about it.
spoiled.
yes.
Yeah.
So
All right.
knowing that, you should say maybe I shouldn't look at so it's your fault.
Spoilers
the
are
people's fault.
fine. The people that really pissed me off with this movie in particular are the people who sat in the theater and recorded the scenes so that they could post them online.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I'm gonna get views.
which is
That-
illegal.
awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I reported 3 people on
If
TikTok.
I see any of them,
Did you really?
I'm going to report them as well.
It's
Yeah.
Because that's
annoying,
Yeah.
no.
Somebody recorded the scene of the teleportation that we're going to
Yeah.
get to on and put it on TikTok just so they could be the one. Now, listen, here's the thing too. With
dumb.
Ghostbusters and with Spider-Man, I think they're both movies where I think the consumer won a little bit
Mhm.
because they gave you everything that we
Wanted.
wanted as fans.
Yeah. You walked away happy.
Or cried. I didn't cry for this one. I can see how I came close. But Ghostbusters got me.
I don't.
Ghostbusters got me. You're a stone, man.
I want to cry if the 2 fucking Spider-Man came out. That
No, it
movie
wasn't
is-
necessarily that.
No.
There was
No.
it was a roller coaster of different things hitting at once.
Yeah.
That kind of just like
I don't get it.
I
I
didn't
just don't
cry
get
either,
it.
but I
Okay,
did cry at
well.
the new Chevy commercials. though.
Yeah. I
That one got me too.
Did it?
Because the
Yeah.
truck is so
I cry about
beautiful.
everything now.
Hey,
It was an Impala,
Ric
but
Flair cried.
I
yeah.
cry about everything.
Like
so-
Ghostbusters
That
got me because like
boom,
I
was dead.
I was attached to those characters, and then
Yeah.
like how are they gonna bring back this one character? If they did it?
Egon, you
Yeah,
could say it.
Egon. And then the way they did it, I was like, that was done really well, and it
Yeah.
was an impactful
Yeah,
scene, and
it was
the
good.
actors did a good job of bringing that emotion out, and it got me. I got a little
Yeah.
emotional. Dude, I sometimes cry watching wrestling. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes, not even lie. Like, dude, when I see
Nope.
Bianca Belair and fucking Shasta Banks, I'm like, dude, this is the first time 2 African American women.
Yeah, that
like
gets
I was
me.
emotional
Stuff
for
like
them.
that
I
gets me.
see. I associate crying with sadness, and there's nothing sad. about it.
Yeah.
No,
but
it's
see,
crying
I'm the
doesn't
same
always
way.
need to be
No.
sad.
I
You
tears
can
of
cry
joy.
when you're happy. There's
I
tears
cried.
of
I
joy.
cried for Wonder Woman just
I
because it's
disagree.
a big deal.
What one? The second?
Both of them.
Oh, I
You
done.
cri-
I done
Why you
this-
cried at the second one because it wasn't that good?
No, I cried for both because it's a big deal to have a woman as the
I cried.
main
No,
thing.
I had like the tear. I didn't
Yeah.
cry, but I had a little tear in my eye when she was like realizing that she couldn't be with him and she couldn't kind of have that relationship. She was going to be Wonder Woman, like
Mhm.
accepting
I
her
think-
fate, kind of.
I
Like
think.
that kind of.
I think.
And plus, when you seen the old Wonder Woman come back in the post-credit
Yeah.
scene,
I think hitting your goals. I think like if something were to happen where like, hey, fucking 6 million people are now subscribed to us on YouTube. If I try to come here and thank, dude, we hit the fucking top 100 on Apple for Tornado Tag,
Mhm.
and I made a thank you video, and I almost fucking cried during it. It means not like because,
I don't know. I
no, that.
But-
It's
but
okay
also-
to cry.
but here's the
yeah.
thing.
I'm not saying it's
and
not okay to cry. I don't understand it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not,
Don't
and this, I'm
understand
not
it.
putting any, no one, I'm not putting anyone's work down on this network, but you have no idea how many hours I
Mhm.
log in this fucking chair
Yeah.
for someone to put me on a list and say, I appreciate your work.
Mhm.
That made me feel good. And that's tears of joy. That's not sadness.
See, I think crying is always
Here,
sad.
you need to work on that.
If I get happy, if I'm happy,
You-
I don't cry because I'm happy.
If you're freaking not crying over something like the Chevy commercial, or
Some people
or
cry
because
some
they're
of the other
happy.
stuff,
I wouldn't cry
like
over that.
then
It got me a
what, the
little.
Chevy commercial-
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't
Are
cry.
they-
Chevy.
are different,
Does someone
different
die
parts.
in the Chevy commercial?
Kind of,
No.
yeah.
Well,
And then they got a Chevy at the end?
Yeah, I know which one commercial it was.
No, I'll just say it. It was over an old man lost
Mhm.
his wife.
Mhm.
He bought this Impala for his wife back in the 50s.
Okay.
And it stays in a barn forever. And then he goes out and sees it every once in a while and he kind of cries because he thinks of his wife.
Okay.
Well, at the end, the daughter gets the Impala, restores it with a couple of people in town,
Mhm.
and gives it to him as a Christmas gift. And
So when he
that's
goes back
fine.
out to the bar, it's like an all brand new.
Okay,
restore.
that's positive. I'd be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's sad because
What is it sad about it?
because she's
It's-
dead
it's
and he
not-
misses her.
Yeah.
Well, she can't come back, but they restored the car and it looks great.
Yeah.
That's not sad. That's great.
that's sad.
The car is being restored is not going to resurrect
It's
her.
about
Yeah.
the love between
Yeah.
the daughter, the father,
You can
and the
still
mother.
love and be positive.
Sure.
And look at the great car.
Everyone
And
has
you
those-
can cry and be happy.
Everyone
so,
handles emotions
Yeah.
emotions differently. So there was a person in the theater who kept saying like, I can't stand when people fucking clap in the theater.
everyone claps.
I disagree. I think it's
Yeah.
cool when people emote emotion.
He,
The only
he,
reason
was,
I-
he had to be pissed by the end of that.
Yeah.
show
I
'cause we
disagree
were
with that
pretty
because
cool.
the makers of the film don't see that.
Yeah.
So
If,
I
it's
can-
different if you're clapping for a band or something because
Sure.
they can get the reception, but the makers of the film don't get that. So
I
it's
can
kinda like you're
understand
talking to no one.
not clapping at the end. That annoys
Yeah.
me because it's like who is that for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but like in this case, when something amazing happens,
Right.
uh,
When something really like
Mhm.
gets
You
you,
know,
excited. Yeah.
that like, especially with this movie, because it's been so close to the vest that like there's no spoilers. Like
Mm.
obvious, we had predictions.
We all knew 3
But-
Spider-Mans were going to be there.
Once you
There
see
was
Doc
no-
Ock,
There was a
like,
leak. There was a leak.
you know,
Sure, but there was no real guarantee
no,
that they were going to show up, and
No.
if they did, for how long, or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
except
So
Yeah.
the fact
what
that
the fuck's Tobey Maguire doing? You know, like
right,
Like it could have just
He
been.
looked-
it
like,
could have just been a
little
cameo.
He looked
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
He looked good. We'll get to that though. But no, I think the special thing about this movie, and however emotionally you want to handle it, it may be. I think if it's going to draw out any strings or be exciting or however you're going to handle it, it was really cool to see 3 generations of
Yeah.
people
Yep.
of their favorite Spider-Mans. Like we grew up, our first one we seen was Tobey Maguire. So
Tobey.
like regardless if we liked him or not, that's the guy we associate with.
Yeah.
Then there's another generation who are the Andrew Garfield. It wasn't a very long generation, but there's some kids that was their first time they seen that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then everyone fell in love with Tom Holland. And then to see all 3 on the screen, you're like, that's kind of unheard of for
Right.
for,
Mhm.
for movie fans to experience something like that.
I
And
think it's cool that everyone like claps because it's cool
Yeah.
to see like everyone so
It's,
invested.
it's like a vibe, you know.
yeah.
It was going into a good vibe. Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's I thought it was awesome. I haven't been to a movie like
I
that
thought it was
in
cool.
years.
Yeah,
So,
I like when people now if they're I don't mind a little whisper here or there, like where people are like, "Oh my god!" Like I don't.
They're just being
That doesn't piss
obnoxious,
me
that's
off. That
annoying.
doesn't bother me. Like that. That's part of the movie experience. Now, when you bring a kid in, the kid doesn't give a shit and they're fucking running around
Oh.
and
Yeah.
screaming. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want
that
to hear
is
that.
why I love the Frackville Theater because
Yeah.
I'll pay the extra money not to have kids.
But
under
I will say
21.
this: some of the kids
Some
made
of
the movie's
kids were
experience
cool.
this
Yeah.
time because
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
we'll get to that
but
later
you
on.
didn't
too.
have any misbehaved kids either.
No,
No,
You
not
were
at all.
one that was
pretty good.
super invested.
Yeah.
It was
And-
the first
Yeah.
theater I've been in where it was completely not an empty seat.
oh well,
It was packed.
Yeah,
It was terrifying.
yeah,
but it
they
was
said
packed.
that the it's done really well.
Yeah.
The gross, I forget what the number was.
It was like number one. Like
Yeah,
they hit like top movie for like.
Yeah, we're not going to
all
go
kinds
scene
of
by
things, I think.
scene and tell you everything that
No.
happened, but we'll just kind of keep. I guess you would say some key spoilers. So, like I said, once again, like spoilers coming. But one of the biggest pops I think from the beginning is once obviously Spider-Man gets outed as Spider-Man, and that's the whole beginning of the movie. He's going through that. They have to lawyer up. And and he's talking to Matt Murdock, which is the Netflix version of Daredevil. As
Charlie Cox.
Charlie
Charlie
Cox,
Cox,
is,
yep.
is shown at I'm getting chills about it.
I
It's
know.
shown as Daredevil. And I went, fuck. I literally
Yeah.
screamed in the theater. I
Yeah.
went, fuck yes. Like
I looked over at him. I was like,
I was
Which that-
clapping.
that
You
was-
were waiting.
I
You
was like,
knew.
That was leaked. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I
didn't
saw
know
the
it.
photo.
I didn't know it.
I thought everyone knew because I was gonna tell him. I was like, "Oh, I bet you're gonna love this," and thank God I didn't because the reaction I got in the theater, it was great.
Yeah,
was
I had
great,
no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I didn't see a photo, but it leaked that.
And then when he catches the brick, I was
Yeah.
like, even
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
so
a
someone-
really good lawyer.
Someone throws a brick through the window
Yeah,
and he just catches it like this. And he goes, how did you do that? He goes, just a really good lawyer. But it was, it was
Yeah.
so good. Like, I love that Daredevil. The
I
fact
do
he's
that
too.
really good as Daredevil.
he's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, the whole cast is good. Well, didn't it just kind of get spoiled too? I'm not gonna say it in case no one knows.
Go ahead, Kingpins and Hawkeye. Fuck
Yeah,
you if you didn't see.
they
it.
I was gonna say I saw a picture and I was like,
Yeah,
Is that
I
big
saw
guy
the spoiler. I
Kingpin?
didn't see it, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he
So-
was a great kingpin.
So
Yeah,
that,
he
that
was.
Kingpin
Oh.
is now in the MCU. So
Mhm.
that kind of
You know what?
both
They
are-
would have done themselves a big disservice by recasting that.
Yeah, because he was
that
very
was
good.
so great.
and
That
John
was
Bernthal is Punisher's
I was
next.
gonna say they're all coming,
Yeah, they're all coming.
Sorry.
The only one we're
except
not,
Nick Cage, Ghost Rider. He will never come.
and
Oh.
Wesley Snipes Blade.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, because Cottonmouth is Blade now, so Cottonmouth he's dead forever.
Yeah.
But, from Luke Cage.
But yeah, it was really good. Then we as the movie goes on, you're going through all the struggles. Hot MJ, hot at me, he dies.
What?
At me,
Oh.
hot at me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said
May.
hot at me. I'm
No,
like,
hot at May.
What are you
Um,
talking
Hotmail.
about?
She dies from.
She is hot.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only part of that Spider-Man universe I couldn't get behind.
Yeah, I'm like she's a little too hot.
She's
too young.
way too fucking. I don't want to fuck Aunt May.
Wasn't
It was always
Well, you
generally an old like grandma.
Yeah, older, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Right,
shouldn't
Pretty
want to.
young.
I shouldn't want to slam Aunt May.
Yeah, a gray-haired grandma.
Yeah.
That's why
She is
Iron
not.
Man was after.
Well, what's his name? His buddy's after
I was
the whole
gonna
time.
say Tony Stark.
happy.
Well, here's
Happy.
and Happy, if you think about it, was Foggy Nelson in the original Daredevil movie
Yeah.
with Ben Affleck, which I didn't like, but
If you watch the director's,
it was okay. It wasn't great.
Yeah, it's okay.
I heard the director's
doesn't hold
cuts
up.
A little
of
bit better.
that and Elektra were a little better than the actual.
Yeah, the
movies.
Mhm.
Daredevil's light years ahead of Electra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I didn't mind Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck has a good jawline to be a superhero, like to
Yeah.
have like
Mhm.
in a
He looked
costume.
good as the
Yeah.
Daredevil. That movie suit was alright.
Speaking of looking good, Tobey Maguire looked really good in his suit.
Mhm.
At first, he's wearing a long baggy jacket and
Yeah.
everything, and the whole time, like everyone's in their suits
I like
except
how
him.
they asked him about
Yeah.
his suit, and he's like,
Well, the whole time we're like, why is he the only one not in his fucking suit? So they're doing all these tests and
Yeah.
schematics, and there's all these buddy moments. We're not going to get in all of them, but he's like, he looks over, and goes, "Where's your suit?" And he just kind of does one of these.
And it was why are you just dressed like? Do you always dress like a
youth pastor.
youth
Yeah.
pastor?
Yeah.
A cool youth pastor.
And then it just so happens there was a group in front of us that was
there was a youth pastor, in front of us,
Yeah.
so they popped for
Oh,
that.
that's me.
And then he finally gets in his suit. And he looks good. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Still looks. It's,
Our movie magic.
yeah.
No, he definitely lost weight because I saw
Oh, right.
photos of him
Yeah.
like on the street from 2020 and 2021 when people were like speculating if he was
Yeah.
going to be in or not, and they're like, he lost an awful lot of
Well, he
weight.
lo-
What's up with that?
he
Like,
did lose weight and they didn't de-age him very much.
No.
Not like Doc Ock.
So I liked that they were all brought in as their present selves. It
Mhm.
wasn't like we're gonna map their faces
Yeah.
and make them
Yeah.
younger or any of that
It's
other
like time
garbage.
passed in their dimension.
right. Like
Yeah.
he still had his Toby had some crow's feet around
Yeah.
his eyes and stuff.
Yeah,
to
which
show
just
his
makes
age.
why not have an older
so
Spider-Man?
Mhm.
and there. So essentially, what happens here is, when the multi-universe opens up, because
The multiverse.
the multiverse opens up because Peter wouldn't shut the fuck up, and he keeps changing the spell over and over and over.
5 times.
You see this spell kind of like go out and then in and it breaks, and essentially it sucks the rest of the Spider-Man universe into the universe. So every character that died came back
Well,
the second they died.
well,
Only if they knew who
knew.
Peter Parker was
Yeah.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
But the only thing that kind of throws that a little bit into a weird loop, I believe that Lizard and
Sandman don't die. So-
Lizard and Shocker didn't know who Spider-Man was in their
Electro?
movies. Electro didn't know that they
Oh.
were Spider-Man.
I was
So
gonna say Shocker's in the one in the beginning.
Mhm.
and he
Yeah,
gets smoked.
Electro. I don't
Electro
know.
Electro did not know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, but he still comes in the movie somehow.
Yeah, I think I seen that online. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
I think I'll give credit. Yeah, Yaz, I believe, said that.
Yeah.
He said he went back and watched it, and he says he never was in on that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Yeah, and he said there was another villain too, but I forget. But yeah, so all the villains come back, and then the entire time they're like, Green Goblin shows up, and
Yeah,
he's
it's
like, "Wait, he fucking died! Like, what is he doing here?"
Yeah.
And then you kind of find out a little bit more about that. But
Which the trailer screws that all up.
Mhm.
Like Doc Ock makes a specific line about how like they all died or whatever
Yeah.
in it, but then in the movie it's completely different.
But
Yeah,
you kind of
whereas,
gotta
like,
like
they
that
didn't-
because then
yeah.
you're
I
going
love
in
it.
and
Yeah.
you're like
thinking
you're
one thing and
twisted
it's
a bit.
something else.
they
yeah.
didn't know they died. They're like, I was fighting him on the bridge, and then
Yeah.
Oh,
He was like
Oh.
Doc Ock
No.
was like, I had Spider-Man by the throat and then I was here. I don't know what happened.
No.
yeah.
So like
So they're just as confused, and then they start doing like some tests to try to, instead of killing them, they're going to fix them. They're going to rewire their brain. They're going to make them back to
they're gonna give him
normal,
a second chance.
and they're going to give them a second chance at life.
they're going
Nothing
to cure
wrong will
them.
happen there.
So essentially, by
Well-
the end of the movie, they're no longer villains.
Yeah.
They're normal, because instead of killing them
They
like
cured
normal,
them.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
a trope in comic book movies in the early 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, which
I didn't like that.
you rather them die?
No, I said I don't like that they died.
Yeah, I don't like that
because
they died.
if you eliminate all the bad guys, then what's the good guy fight? If he has no
Exactly.
trials, who cares?
Yeah. So essentially, Electro didn't want to have the electricity in his body anymore.
Yeah.
And then Lizard wants to be a human. Sandman wants
which-
to go back
But
to normal.
Lizard's thing always
No.
was he wanted to.
That's not true at all.
What do you mean?
No.
They don't want to lose their powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
all happy.
Electro
Peter's
and
with it.
Lizard were
forcing
happy.
them.
Yeah.
On this second chance.
They didn't trust him.
However, everyone's on board until Goblin comes in and gives his speech on how,
You're special.
you know, as people, they don't have choices, but as gods, we take things.
Yeah.
And then they're all like, oh,
and we
well, I
have
don't wanna
5
lose that.
of the 6.
that's
Yeah.
not what this story's about.
We have 5 of the 6. So we
It's
never
not-
technically get a Sinister 6 movie.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we almost did back in the day.
Almost. But the door's always open. The closest we get to 6 is
Peter Parker.
is the end credit scenes, or the biggest villain of this fucking whole movie is fucking the Daily Bugle. It's just he's a fucking scumbag.
Oh, J.
Yeah,
Jonah Jameson.
Jay Jonah is just a
because he
fucking.
hates Spider-Man. I like
he-
how they brought him back.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
Mhm.
I
awesome.
love it.
Mhm.
But the thing is isn't he the only character who?
Staying in all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
they should have brought another
Mhm.
multiverse him, but it's just him.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
hoping.
three
two
versions.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
I hate him too.
Yeah.
Not every universe has an Uncle Ben. Not every universe has an MJ, but they all had a fucking James.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all the same guy.
Yeah.
Because they even said, he goes, well, I didn't have an Uncle Ben. Like, I mean, I did, but not in the same
Yeah.
aspect as you did.
Yeah.
And then fucking, all right, the Martha thing is dead. That we can over the Martha fucking
The
Batman.
Batman v
Oh,
Superman.
I was
the
like,
Batman v
why are we-
Superman. That's dead now. Because fucking as fucking hot Aunt May is dying, she
Mhm.
goes, Peter, with great
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
She didn't know she was dying. She was like in shock at this
responsibility.
point.
But no,
And then- and then-
no one says that line to him, right? To
No.
that
No,
Spider-Man.
no one has ever.
Yeah.
And then
No.
and then
Yeah.
he's,
Not in
and
this
then
one.
he says like, well, right before Aunt May died, she said with great, and then then Tobey Maguire's like,
Toby.
comes with great responsibility,
Yeah.
and everyone starts fucking bawling. I was like,
Because that's the
Yeah.
catchphrase.
Yeah.
you fuck. The only problem with the first 3 movies is they fucking beat you in the head with that fucking.
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
All right, we get it. We
Yeah.
fucking get it, Peter. Tattoo it on your fucking forearm. Yeah. And then they get into the whole fucking web slingers because they actually have to make-
Yeah.
So Ned
Mhm.
comes up to the table and he's like, "Oh, here's your web cartridges." And Peter, or like Maguire's like, "Web cartridges?
Yeah,
Like,
because
what's
he has
that for?"
organic
Yeah,
webs,
and he
yes.
shoots it, and they're like, "What? Do you like? Where's that? Like, it just comes out
Does
of
it
you?"
only come out of your arms?
Yeah.
But so a lot of cool moments like that. The moment in the theater that fucking the little like a little girl that you could tell like not her generation Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire gets. You think he's going to die, but he
Mhm.
gets stabbed by Green Goblin, and this little girl fucking no.
I thought you meant in the movie. I was like,
No.
oh, is
No,
it like
no, no, no.
Gwen?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So
Oh.
in it,
It's
it's,
a-
I almost feel like it's a more powerful moment because, so Tom Holland is beating the crap out of Green Goblin.
Each
Mhm.
Spider-Man
Right.
has his own arc he has to overcome.
Yeah.
And
So Garfield he lost Gwen,
Gwen.
to the next snap.
Mhm.
Peter lost his Uncle Ben because he let his emotions and his anger get involved. And then Tom Holland, Green Goblin just killed his mom, so he wants to kill Green Goblin.
And
He
To-
goes
Tobey
into like
Maguire's-
a full on rage.
Right. He goes in this full on rage mode and actually picks up the glider with the blades out and is ready to like
Oh,
stab
okay.
him and kill him. And Maguire like jumps and holds it.
Oh.
because he doesn't
then-
want him to become dark. Like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
want, you're not going to get what you want out of
Yeah.
this. And then while he does that, Green Goblin stabs him.
Oh, okay. I'd be like, you can kill him. It's okay. We got him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll survive. No spoiler, no death.
Yeah,
but
that was
um,
good though.
He's just in a lot of pain.
but the only thing is like the whole time, like Peter Parker is punching the shit out of
Yeah.
Green Goblin,
Mhm.
like beating and I'm like, he would break him in half because like his strength, he has super strength.
Yeah.
like, he would fucking one punch from Spider-Man, it's fucking donezo for you.
And how about Willem Dafoe not really aging very much?
His
at
action
all?
scenes look good.
He looks
Yeah.
So
good.
I heard rumors about that. Apparently, if these rumors are correct, he was only coming back to this film if they would let him do all the stunts.
Wow.
He
That's
killed
cool.
it. He fucking killed it. He did fantastic. Tons of wrestling moves.
You
in
know what
this.
they should have
Yeah.
did? They should have had his son that turns into the stupid goblin thing.
Harry?
the new goblin. And then he should
They
come out
mention him.
and he should get smoked in like 5 seconds. And then someone should be like, boy, he looks stupid.
Yeah.
Like one of the other Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Like the one that's not connected with him. Just like,
The only one we didn't get was James Franco for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
He was canceled. And then we didn't get the Amazing Spider-Man's Green Goblin.
Yeah, but we already had 3 villains
Yeah.
from
yeah,
Maguire
that's enough.
that it was like.
Mhm.
And then the whole rumor is that is Ned gonna turn into Hobgoblin?
So,
That's what they're saying.
all right, I'm shooting that out of the water
Well, they're,
for
yeah,
one
that-
reason, unless
gone.
something happens. So, in the end of the movie, right, Doctor Strange has to do the spell to make
Mhm.
everybody forget that who Peter Parker is.
yeah,
everybody.
which happens in the comics
Right. So,
after Civil War.
I have a theory. The only way this is going to work is because he goes and finds MJ and Ned and doesn't tell them who he is, like his plan was.
Yeah.
And he made a
kinda-
promise to her and all this kind of stuff. The only way I feel like that's going to happen is if he eventually gets the guts to tell MJ and Ned is dating her
Oh yeah, that
and
makes sense.
is like, "You were in love with me. I can't see you with my best friend."
Yeah.
And Ned's like, "Well, I don't give a shit who you are. and then becomes this
Oh,
hobgoblin.
see, they're the
Yeah.
third hobgoblin because there's many. It's
Because they
named
did
Ned.
make a point to say that.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Because Ned goes to Maguire and says, "Did you have a best friend in yours?" And he's like, "Yeah, he tried to kill me, and I had to like."
Because the whole
Yep.
they kind of lean into the internet speculation, and he's like, "Don't worry, I won't fucking turn evil and try to kill you."
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah,
they're pushing him more as a maybe a person in Doctor Strange that he has a little bit of magic powers that
Right.
he can use the ring and open portals.
yeah.
too.
So Doctor Strange was kind of like, "Wow, you kind of picked that up without even having
he
any formal
acknowledged it.
training."
And like,
Because
oh, cool.
he brings a comment earlier in the movie about how like his whole family apparently has magic, and he's like, "Oh, you should check out with the doctor if you're having tingling in your fingers."
That's cool.
Yeah. So he essentially
It
like
might be something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So they-
maybe he's a mutant.
Maybe.
maybe. Who knows? That's coming soon. But yeah, so essentially they kind of hint that maybe Ned's gonna maybe go under the tutelage of Doctor Strange. Now here's where this movie gets a little weird, and by theory, because everyone now forgets Peter Parker. So is he still an Avenger? The Avengers still know Spider-Man. They just
Right.
don't know Peter Parker.
Well, maybe Doctor Strange's spell didn't affect Avengers.
No.
Nope.
So
he said everyone will.
Everyone.
Even
That's
he
the
even
only
said
way.
even I will not remember
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah, because when the rifts were all opening up, Peter says, "How can we stop this?" He goes, "Peter, I don't know.
Like
And
they're
he
all,
goes-
they're all after him.
They're all after you." And then all these like celestial beings are coming through, but you can tell they're not really celestial, but they're coming through other. So it looks like the Rhino is coming through.
Mhm.
One of them
Kraven.
looked like Craven. The other one looked like possibly Scorpion was coming
Okay.
through, and all these people were coming through this rift. And because essentially, if they couldn't get all the other Spider-Mans, it was supposed to be a Spider-Man Craven movie, but then they got everybody on board, and that's
Yeah.
when they made this
Well,
multi-universe.
got that Marvel money. They showed
Yeah.
at the door. You're gonna do it.
speaking of the money, I saw on TikTok. Now I don't know if these numbers are correct, but Tom Holland got paid $10.4 million to do this movie.
No.
Garfield 1.4 million,
Oh,
Shit.
and Tobey Maguire got a good 36 million.
Wow.
Which-
wow.
Does not surprise me in the least because if he's not in it, I don't think anybody
you
would
no.
care. You
For
need
this-
the three of
For
them.
this
Yep.
story, you need him. Yeah.
You need him.
You need them.
Well, for this, if you're gonna do multiverse Spider-Man,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just
You
have
need
some
him.
random Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure.
Unless
And
we
you
were-
need him for
2099.
nostalgia in
Yeah.
my generation. And I don't
Right.
know
I
how
thought
old
for
you
sure-
were. You
check
were
all the
what,
boxes.
in that meme, you were what, 8?
I was the kid in that.
You
meme
were 8.
being like, "Oh my gosh, Green Goblin!"
I was
knock, knock.
6. I was
And that was me
16.
now.
I was
Yeah.
20 or 21.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
a little,
I was 16
I was-
in the movie theaters by
I was like
myself.
I was like
watching it.
17.
Yeah,
16,
the same as
17,
her.
yeah. I thought 100% we were getting Garfield. Tobey Maguire, I was like, oh, let's see. But then yeah, we got him. But
Yeah, for the gimmick of the movie, they needed them. Actors.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like, how cool would that be in Fantastic Four if they meet the Fantastic Four from the
Oh my
Chris Evans?
like what?
As
Yeah,
Flash?
yeah, what if
Yeah.
Chris
That'd be
Evans?
cool.
said
Yes.
he's
How?
Q Torch?
How?
Like,
What? What?
and they go Cap. He's like, what?
it would be. I want Fantastic Four so fucking bad.
It's
Just
coming.
please give me Fantastic Four. I thought they were gonna fucking show X-Men 2 in the fucking.
No, that's the Doctor Strange. That's where we're gonna find that.
yeah.
You think-
In the trailer, there's a second there. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, and they didn't fucking do it.
He's gonna find mutants first, and then
Well, he did
And-
find a mutant
Fantastic Four will happen like now, like in
because
the current time.
our first mutant has been born.
It's
It's Scarlet Witch.
yeah. And then there's some other guy in one of their movies, some Black Widow. There's a Russian guy that's a mutant that turns into Ursa Major. He turns
Yeah.
into a bear.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean our first mutant was born?
Our first X-Men with her real name, everything was when they called her Scarlet Witch. That was
I was like,
in the MCU.
That's
That's
not true,
That's our
'cause
first mutant.
Magneto's her dad. So, like,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
well,
why I
the
was
first
like,
one announced in the
what do
current-
you mean by
Yeah,
first?
Yeah, she will go down as the
well,
first
her, and
mutant.
then
Yeah.
to be recognized in
Yeah.
the actual
Sure.
MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as the clarification.
I was in the same boat with him there.
Yeah. So one or two things can happen, and depending on how they fucking roll this is if the Sony and Marvel deal doesn't work, which I can't see not happening, Spider-Man can go back to his world, and Sony, they can do their whole thing, and they can even, if they wanted to really roll with this multiverse, they even open the door where they could make movies with all 3 Spider-Mans
They
again.
could, yeah.
I'd love it.
How did they not how did they
Yeah.
not see the money rolling in here, the numbers rolling in
There's
here, and
no
think,
way.
oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We're separating them again.
At
Oh,
least to do one movie off for each Spider-Man to say like what were the
Sure.
ending events, like
The
what is their
repercussions of all the changes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
yeah, and a lot of people really want the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Like
I'm fine with that.
really, people want
I don't
that
think
hard.
you'll ever get that.
You don't think so?
No, because
This might have opened the door. for
Tom
that,
Holland,
though.
your Spider-Man, that's all you're ever gonna get. You might get those guys popping up in a Spider-Verse movie, but other than that, no.
I mean, I'm fine with that though too.
Yeah.
Because at least there would be some explanation of like,
I think if they made a solo Spider-Man movie with just Tom Holland is solo one with like 3 different ones,
Yeah.
I think people would eat it up.
I would go see that in a heartbeat. I'd own them all.
I mean,
No questions.
Three Peters,
it's fine.
or how about a movie with Miles in it? A little bit different.
Throw
that was
them in,
that,
too.
that was teased
You
as
know?
well. Jamie,
That was
during
teased.
the
That's what I
scene
would
with
rather.
Jamie Foxx is like, man, I hope there's another multiverse. There's a Black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And everyone in the theater's like, please, God. That was me. But yeah, that fucking God, I hope they do Miles Morales. That would be fucking amazing. I'd rather Miles Morales in the MCU than Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Oh God.
Yeah, I
Why-
really like Miles
Why
Morales.
can't have both?
I mean, if I had to pick, if like one went to Sony and one went to MCU,
Never gonna happen.
Yeah. But yeah, never say never. There's a lot of times that
Never gonna
they-
happen.
you've said a lot of times never things never gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, and then never happened. There's
Tons of times.
has the Switch Pro come out?
In a sense, yes.
Not yet.
no.
yet.
The Switch
in
Pro
entirety.
has never happened, and it never will.
Open door in wrestling.
Yeah, I never said that.
You said it would
I
never
said
happen.
WWE will never work with it.
Oh yeah,
they
well,
never will.
that's God's without saying. But
I never said AEW wouldn't.
well, actually, we said out of all the companies that wouldn't work with anybody would be Impact and AEW because of the
Yeah, then they
and,
did.
and
Yeah.
they did, yeah. But anyway, I'd say never say never, but anything can happen. But money talks with everything,
Never
except
seen
unless
Isn't
you're
that
Vince
a
McMahon.
Justin Bieber song?
it. No, it was
Never say
Jaden
never.
Smith, Karate
Oh.
Kid,
Yeah, there you go.
right?
Oh,
Oh God, that was.
It might have been Justin
no.
Bieber and
Oh,
Jaden
God.
Smith, I think.
And then the end credit scene is Venom.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy is sitting in a bar and he's talking to a bartender, but Venom's also talking in his head and he's trying to have 2 conversations and he's going
Let's
mad.
go skinny dipping.
And
But-
he's drunk.
Yeah,
And he's like,
wasted.
"Wait, explain this again. And he's trying to have this bartender explain
The event.
The
the Avengers to him. So
Okay.
you have this big green guy.
So Venom has come to the MCU world.
Yes.
No.
He's
No.
in a bar in Mexico. Because in the end credits
Yeah.
of what was the last movie?
Venom with
Venom
the
two.
Carnage.
Carnage,
At the end credits of Venom and Carnage, he gets teleported into like with the snap or whatever,
Mhm.
or the multiverse opens, and now he's in Mexico,
Mhm.
but he's not in he's nowhere close, and he sees on TV Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I'm on my way to go to. I'm gonna
So
go.
then he is in the MCU.
He is.
Yes.
So he's
for
at a
hot
bar
second.
in Mexico because he just left a hotel
Yeah.
bar and he's talking to the bartender. He's like, "Explain me the Avengers."
Yeah, because he wouldn't know.
And then he's
Yeah.
telling him how Tony Stark is dead, and they have this whole.
He was
team.
like, so you have a guy who flies around in a tin can, and then he's like, oh, rest in peace. And then he's like, and a big green guy named the Hulk.
Yeah.
And Venom's like, and you thought what was his
The
like,
Lethal Protector.
the Lethal
was a-
Protector was a stupid name or
Yeah.
something like.
And then as he's like, all right, well, I think it's time to go to New York, he stands up and then the multiverse closes.
Oh.
and
Yeah,
he's
well,
gone.
before that, it's like they're drunk, and he's like, "Well, first, let's go skinny dipping."
Yeah.
But as he portals out, he like kind of throws his arms and
Yeah.
a piece of
So,
symbiote falls on the bar.
Watching that twice, I did not notice it until they panned out because I specifically knew what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I didn't see any black come off of him,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so that's why I was like, it had to have been off of him
Yeah.
before he started to
Maybe
glow.
I
While he
think
was on
as
the
he was
table,
start
yeah,
as
on
he
the
was
counter.
as he was starting to like transform back, I think Venom was starting to come through a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's when he flung a little bit of the symbiote
Yeah.
off. So then they zoom in on the symbiote and it's crawling around in the bar.
Mhm.
So now Venom is back in Sony universe or back in his universe, but there is a piece of symbiote in the MCU.
Right.
So we don't really know. Now the other question here is, you may know more about this. If Peter Parker were to then announce to the world, take his mask off, I'm Peter Parker, does
Mhm.
that undo any spells? Does that make everything revert?
No,
back?
the spell happened. But
Yeah.
if he announced it, then people would know from if they seen that on TV. But like if he announced that and you didn't see it, you wouldn't immediately know if you got mind wiped
Yeah.
because the spell happened to you.
So it
right?
doesn't revert any other spells.
No,
Okay.
that spell happened, but then
So
people could still learn if they watch the video. Oh,
he
that's- I
does
didn't-
have
I-
that option then to like go to Doctor Strange and be like, hey, I'm Peter Parker, just so you know.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like whoever else.
Yeah, and he could tell in Doctor Strange, and be like, "Oh, okay, I believe you." you know?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
probably
the
figure it out.
trailer to Doctor Strange is the second trailer, and it kind of looks like they're going to be fucking in the courtyard of fucking Xavier's mansion. And it's not. And that's
America
where,
Chavez is in it.
yeah.
She has a star on the back of her jacket.
He talks to Wanda. That they show that in the trailer, and then at the very end, he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then it's Doctor Strange, and another guy turns around and it's Doctor
Well,
Strange.
no, that's not true. That's not how
I
it's done.
know exactly how it goes down.
So,
Doctor Strange meets Doctor
the guy
Strange.
from the who's the black guy in the first one?
Mordo.
He shows up and he's like, you know what the biggest problem to the multiverse is? You.
Yeah,
And then Evil Strange turns
okay.
around and says he makes some line.
yeah,
Hmm.
makes sense.
So who's Evil Strange?
The one that that has a slightly different color hair or whatever. Obviously, our
He
Doctor
has
Strange is
I
the
think he
real
has
one.
the
Because
one-
wasn't there a
he has white
storyline where
streak in his
Morbius
hair, I think.
comes as Doctor Strange?
Morbius.
Doesn't Morbius clone
No,
himself?
Morbius is the vampire.
Not Morbius. Mephisto.
devil guy.
Doesn't Mephisto?
Maybe.
I thought there was a
could
Spider-Man
see
line
them-
where he tricks Peter into doing something or something like that.
Yeah, but that's then he makes it. I will redo whatever, but you have to get rid of your marriage with MJ. And he says
Oh.
yes, and that was the one more day. A lot of people didn't like that storyline.
Yeah.
And then they basically retconned their marriage, and they were never married.
Yeah. So so now in the
It could be. I think it will be a different Doctor Strange from a different dimension.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Dormammu will be in it, the guy with the flame.
I
in his
hope
head.
so.
And
'cause
Shumagorath is in the tentacle like octopus bad guy.
they show the one villain. It's like a giant eyeball thing.
Yeah, that's Shumagorath.
Yeah. They showed him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a cool trailer. I thought they were gonna tease at least something in there. Be like, this is coming.
You'll see
Like,
the movie.
yeah. But
I'm glad they didn't. To be honest,
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm
I
kinda
don't
glad
want to
they
see
did.
the
Yeah.
entire movie on a fucking trailer.
Yeah,
No.
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
I hate
hated
that.
that.
Yeah.
just
hate
lucky.
that.
I want X-Men and Fantastic Four so bad.
That's fine. I'm sure they're coming.
Just wait.
Is it
I just
better
got
to see it-
Daredevil, so I'm super excited.
Is it better to see it in a trailer or is it better to wait for
Right.
that
What is
anticipation?
better?
Yeah, and
To go
So wait.
opening night or opening weekend like we did with this,
Yeah.
not like you may have your theories, but walk in and be like, oh shit, they're on
Or
the screen.
Would you
Yeah, I
rather
like that
them
better.
show you in the trailer like, hey, this is potentially coming with a teaser, or some asshole fucking leak a set prop and then it gets ruined without anything?
Yeah, but
So,
that's the
Teaser's one thing,
Yeah.
I'd rather a teaser than someone show me a photo of Matt
Production-
Murdock on set.
saying,
Yeah, but
hey,
when you rather
teaser did
not
great.
knowing-
let's
anything?
keep going.
We should
Yeah,
make
but that-
like 5 other trailers and reveal like
Yeah.
every
In
little
our
one
day and age,
trailer.
that doesn't really happen.
But you just said you watched
I got lucky.
Spider-Man and didn't know Daredevil was in it.
I got lucky.
I know. Here's what Nikolai's trying to say.
See, and
How much better would Batman vs Superman be if you didn't know Wonder Woman was in it when you went to see it?
Oh, 100% better.
yeah. See,
A lot
But
of Batman.
They showed her.
they
like-
showed everything
yeah,
in
they
Batman.
showed her
Superman.
in the trailer, and you're like, oh, okay. But if you didn't know, you just heard that music, like, what the fuck's going? What the fuck? Your mind
Yeah.
would blow.
They showed
But yeah,
Wonder Woman. They showed Doomsday. They
Well,
showed
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
but when you
Yeah,
got
I
the
don't like
trailer,
that.
That's what
both
annoyed me with
times,
Batman
you're
v
like, oh,
Superman.
I missed
Up.
the world where it was a teaser trailer and one trailer.
trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then they can
not
put
like
them
a
out
bunch of them.
once
yeah.
the movie's out.
I agree.
Fine.
Usually just
Well, see,
avoid
and
trailers
that's
to begin with.
half of these Spider-Man trailers I didn't even watch. One,
Yeah.
because I don't
I
have
don't watch
regular
any of them.
television anymore, and two, because I didn't go searching for it.
I
either.
watched
And
the
I will say this,
teaser
the-
and the
the
first
so
trailer-
one.
much nicer.
The trailers did throw a lot off when it came to the movie
They did because they
Mhm.
reconstructed how it was.
because they were like, fuck, too many people are trying to spoil those shit, so
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking throw some teasers to fucking.
Then why not do that?
Yeah, I like
why
that.
why spill
Yeah.
the whole movie?
That's why I only
Yeah.
like
In
watching
2
the
minutes.
first trailer, and that's it.
Yeah.
because I don't
No.
like. the
What were you
yeah.
saying now for Batman Superman?
Like I was actually like, okay, like even if they spoil Wonder Woman, okay, that's fine. But you're gonna spoil like another villain in the movie. Like Doomsday, I don't think anyone had an idea like he was gonna be in it.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, that just ruined the movie for me. I don't
Yeah.
need to see
Batman Superman
v
showed
Superman.
way too much
It
in the
did.
trailer.
Yeah,
Just like how what Avenger movie does the Hulkbuster show up for the first time?
Age of Ultron, worst
So,
one.
That was in the trailer.
I saw the Hulkbuster was
Yeah,
going to be in
shouldn't
it,
have been
right?
in the trailer.
They released the
toy.
entire Hulkbuster scene fighting the Hulk before the movie came out.
Yeah, the
and
toy-
I said, okay,
the-
I watched this. Don't need to see the movie.
the toys,
Yeah.
the toys did it too.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, toys are a little different because it's like,
yeah,
They have to be scheduled out and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, a,
Even
lot, a lot
like
of times you see leaks with the toy.
So I think when they're like, "Fuck,"
That's how
we
Evil
have to put the
Doctor Strange
toy
came
out.
out.
We have to fucking we have to show that.
Well, that you
scene.
can stay away from too. That's just like spoilers. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're-
unless you're a super toy person, but
Yeah.
The way our internet is now, people are gonna do it. Like,
yeah, if you look at social media, but like you're not going to see the evil Doctor Strange toy that I seen if you're looking at a phishing website,
Yeah.
you know. But if you're on
Yeah.
Facebook, yeah, you might.
but when
see it.
you're in our field here, where we're pop
yeah,
culture,
if you're
and we're
looking
speak,
at social media,
yeah, we're gonna
If
come
I'm-
across that.
if I'm
Mhm.
looking at not social media, then I'm not going to see that because I wouldn't. You'd have to
Yeah,
physically click on that.
unfortunately, with promoting podcasts, I can't stay off social media, so
I
it's
know,
gonna
but
get
I'm just
spoiled for me. So
saying,
I
yeah.
much rather, I guess, a small teaser or a leak in the trailer than someone ruining it
sure,
for me.
small.
Yeah,
That's the
small.
key.
You don't,
Small.
want to
not
see
the
a
movie.
hand and,
Yeah.
and claws come out in the trailer. You'd be like,
See, I would only for the fact to be like, well,
Why?
now who the fuck's playing them?
So,
so you want to know Wolverine's in the movie in a trailer rather than watching the movie?
why wouldn't you
Yeah, 'cause
just
I
see the
think- I don't-
claws on the wall,
Because I don't
the
think-
scrapes?
Yeah,
That they're, like,
yeah,
walking
then
down the hall,
You,
who
doesn't see
wouldn't,
it?
you
Showing
wouldn't
them,
quite
but-
know, right?
Yeah,
cool with that too.
Yeah, because there
Freddy
might be
Krueger.
some, it might be somebody
Right.
else. Claws.
Because I truly feel in our day and age, if Wolverine was ever
Sabretooth,
put
I
on
mean.
was
Yeah.
ever put on set, it's 100%. Like that's what happened with Garfield and Tobey and Holland got caught on set. Someone took a picture, and that's how all the speculation happened.
Yeah.
And then Disney went crazy trying to remove it. And then they're on fucking Jimmy Kimmel. They're
Well,
on everything.
They also did interviews, and they're like, "So we have this photo," and they're like, "It's Photoshop." Like
Yeah.
we weren't in there.
But everybody
also,
knew.
that's also possible in our
Yes.
day and age with the technology.
So
I can
did it
do that shit
Photoshop
on my
something?
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
that-
can put Wolverine in the Spider-Man movie. A
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not
So-
just it's all pop culture. I mean, it's professional wrestling too.
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with fucking some of the top people in our industry right now when it comes to like wrestling, and they're just like, it's fucking annoying. Like, why do you want to know the ending to what our storyline's going to be? Like, what's the whole purpose
There's
of watching?
some
them?
people they just have to know. I used to have a
It's-
friend like that.
That's my mother.
right.
That's my mom or
Yeah.
my husband. Hey, do you know how this ends? Hey, do you know how this ends? Hey, how does he fit in? Hey, is that the second Spider-Man? Hey, where's that villain from? Like I told Heidi, like I love you, Sam, if you're watching, but Jesus Christ, I get
Yeah.
50 questions during a movie.
Jay White's the best. He
This
goes,
was the best. All I did was this, and I bumped Heidi once in a while. I clapped. I didn't have to answer 50 questions.
Yeah.
That
I
annoys
grabbed
the
I
shit
grabbed
out of
Anthony's
me.
leg when Aunt May was going to die,
Oh boy.
because I thought, see, the way I thought they were going to
Oh.
bring Spider-Man in, I thought one of the Spider-Mans were going to show up in the middle of an action scene.
Okay.
So when the glider hit her at first, and I thought she got knocked out of the way,
Mhm.
I thought that's when they were going to bring in Spider-Man.
So they also did something in this movie that I never thought was going to happen. They shot Spider-Man with a bullet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He gets hit,
Yeah, because he's so emotional of his Aunt May dying. He wasn't
and
paying-
Jameson
He was
is
not
the
paying-
one that tells them open fire
Oh yeah.
type deal.
That's
and
pretty good. And then
he
that
gets
makes
Which is
Spider-Man
weird
hate
that they're
him.
listening to him
Yeah.
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 for that.
Yeah.
He's a menace.
Yeah, I think they were at the point where they were going to shoot anyway. They were going. in,
Sure,
yeah.
because the whole front of the building blew up and stuff because Goblin threw some bombs down as he was flying out, and everything kind of just like
And he was there conveniently
Well,
with all
I mean,
villains.
if anything, fucking Jack Kirby and Stan Lee are master showing us that not all the time that you're fucking fiction, your people in the world that are deemed to be villainized are always the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes fucking media can spin it a certain way. Trump still sucks, by the way. But just in case they fucking got
Well,
that.
like Magneto
What?
isn't evil.
I don't know how
No.
that got in there.
Yeah, I don't know how that
Because,
got
no,
in there.
because
Media.
the Q people think that any Republican or Democratic side think their side's the fucking
Yeah,
hero.
yeah.
That's all right. Just keep going.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was
I'm like,
getting
what?
at.
back to superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. But I was saying with you, it's like, Magneto's not technically
Evil.
No.
evil. He just his
No.
agenda is
Right,
his agenda is a little different
Yeah.
approach than the other side, which is a kind of a
But
I
if
loved
you also
Magneto,
look
so-
at his childhood,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
can understand.
Well,
That's
You know,
right.
going through the Holocaust.
You know who Magneto and Professor X are supposed to be like clones of in our modern day world?
What?
Like their storylines are supposed to be loosely based. Like their characters are supposed to be loosely
Who
based
is
off
this?
of
Magneto and who?
and Professor X.
Oh, Professor.
They're
X.
supposed to
Well,
be
Yeah.
they're supposed to be Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah,
Martin
kinda,
Luther
like
King is
loosely.
let's get together, let's do this together, let's
That's
have
X,
a dream.
yeah.
And Magneto's like, by any means necessary, we will get our respect. That's kind of where they were going with those characters, because they were created around the same time.
Okay, but I don't know.
I
feel like
it's a loose
The
connection.
kid from
Yeah.
Auschwitz who's been tortured
Well, sure,
as a
yeah.
kid and had
Yeah.
his whole
That's-
family gassed.
That's their
Yeah.
He's gonna have
that's
a,
their
like a-
backstory, but their way
He's
of
gonna have
but-
naturally a more angry approach to fucking
Right.
life.
but
Like,
their philosophies on how they do their job were based off those two
Okay, but
philosophies.
I guess what I'm saying is if he didn't have that, his philosophy would probably be completely different.
Yeah.
Even if he was
yeah.
a mutant,
mhm.
but
Yeah.
because he had to deal with
Yeah, if
that,
he was
it's
raised
like,
by a nice family and grew up, went to school,
Sure.
college, yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
more like Professor X.
right, like, oh, we should do this.
Same
this way
with
and stuff.
Malcolm X. He was raised in a situation where his family was being drugged and beaten and taken to prison because they were fighting for black rights. And Martin Luther King was kind of a pastor. He was, let's do it by the grace of God. Let's have a drink. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were two different. He was more of a political figure. He was going the right channels. He was doing everything in a different. He was going through this. He was going through similar things, but not in the same violent aspect of Malcolm X
Yeah,
was going through.
But then you could also turn bad like Doctor Doom. He had a great life.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So that's kind of where those characters.
It's a shadows. Like that's like some of the stuff in the metaphysical world too. It's about dealing with your shadow and how you deal with it. Some people just flip the switch and they're totally different.
Batman, Joker.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in how you play the character, or how you live your life, man.
By pop
it's
culture,
all
and
about
comic
the
books are-
game and how you play it.
And on that note, we're fucking out
Oh,
of here. Thank you so
God.
much.
Yes,
Double
I'm off
time.
now.
We'll see you guys next time. Not Cool in High School podcast. We're out of here. We'll see you next year.